days of long ago, created by the cosmic legends of the universe. There stands one man, one great man, a man dedicated to preserving all that is good in pop culture. Loved by few, hated by many. Alone in his fortress of awesomeness, he battles fearlessly against the wolves, the evil, the unjust. To right that which is wrong, to stand for justice, to serve all mankind. He is the one, the only, the Comic Relief Crusader.
Hey everybody, welcome to another Titillating Tuesdays, episode 33, Enter the Geekosphere. Wow, we got the chat even going. It's going and it's a rockin' and stuff like that. Yeah. So, who do we got here in the chat already? We got Disney Sheepherder. Hail Disney Sheepherder. And we got Snaggle Fricklepuss, who is listening while he is at work. Hail Snaggle Fricklepuss. Glad to see you. We got the mighty Phantom Outsider. So, did Cardinal Sin ever relieve you, or did you finally shut it down? I will let you know in a second. We got Super Goji Reviews. Hail Super Goji Reviews. Redux. Howdy, dude. And we got everybody's favorite JJ, Gap After Dark. Hail Gap After Dark. How's it going, my mighty dude? And we already got people already here, so we're going to be welcoming them right now. Adding to the stream, we got Disney Sheepherder. Hail Disney Sheepherder. How's it going?
I'm doing good, thank you.
You are mighty and awesome and excellent. Welcome to the stream. And we also got Pop.
Hello.
Hail, Pop. How's it going?
Going well.
And, and we also got, just in the nick of time, we got Foggy Brains. Howdy ho to you, dear sir. How's it going? So, you know what? To answer Phantom Outsider's question here, so did Cardinal Sin ever relieve you, or did you finally shut it down? Okay, so I'm thinking that sofa didn't make it to the train tracks yesterday. No, it did not. Okay, so to let you know what was going on yesterday was a freaking wacky day. Oh my God. Okay. So, for anybody that's wondering, Sunday night, Cardinal Sin has his show on occasion. I think it's like once a month or something like that, midnight to midnight, okay? And so he invited me on along with a bunch of other people that, he likes to invite on and whatnot. And so, of course, graciously, I answered the clarion call. Oh! And we got Admiral Teague here. Howdy,
Admiral Teague couldn't make it. It sent me, the critical drinker.
Oh, dear God, no. You got the critical drinker here.
I ate a lot of haggis and drank a lot of toilet duck before I reviewed Picard.
Oh, awesome, dude. Awesome. Jeepers, everybody's wearing sunglasses and I'm feeling left out.
I love, right? You know what? By the way, I saw some of that stuff you did on the midnight to midnight thing, and I wish I had a little freedom to be up any part of that. It passed from show to show to show to go for a whole day? Does that mean it's still going on?
I don't think so, but I'm getting into that.
That was a fucking awesome idea, though. I mean,
I know.
We need some people in Australia.
And Tim the Enchanter. Hail Tim the Enchanter. Okay, so this is what was going on yesterday. Oh, and Jay Caserta is dropping into the chat as well. Hello to you. Okay,
Hey,
so
I got to see Geekosphere. I got to see his face on the Midnight to Midnight, so it was nice to finally see you. And hi, hail.
oh, there you go. So okay, so this is what was going on. So Cardinalson had his show going on last night, midnight to midnight. Okay, and he invites a bunch of people as usual. So I was on his show from essentially midnight central his time, right, which was like 11 o'clock Mountain Time, and I stayed on for something like a couple of hours, like an hour and a half to 2 hours. Okay. So my wife was setting up the photo studio here, and getting ready for Mother's Day and stuff like that. And so things got awfully late. I was getting tired because I just worked a 12-hour shift on top of that, and
Cry me a river. I worked 17 hours yesterday. But
oh well, no, I'm so sorry. Jeez, but
at least my job is really easy. A monkey could do it.
oh well, then I want your job. So. And
No,
adding
you
to the
really
stream, Super Goji reviews. Hail to you, dear sir.
Already.
So what happened is, I was getting tired, so I lay down on this couch that we have here at the shop, and the wife left at about 5:30 in the morning. She's a trooper, trying to get things set up and whatnot. And so I set the clock for about 7:30 in the morning, right, to wake me up. Well, I got up and then, fell back asleep. Got up around maybe 8:30 in the morning, went to go get a cup of coffee, came back to the store. I thought, well, I'll go on YouTube and, wake up a little bit, right? Much to my amazement, Cardinal Sin is still going on. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. I'll just pop on the chat again. Not a problem, right? So at that point, it was myself, Dalek451, Phantom Boomer, Canadian Spider-Man, and Gil.
That was around the time I saw. That's some of what I saw, and I saw some of just you.
Right. So after a bit, Canadian Spider-Man had to go. Phantom Boomer had to go, because
He's on metric time. He's Canadian.
Exactly, right? As am I. So there you go. So they had to go, leaving basically Cardinal Sin, myself, and Dalek451. Well, Cardinal Sin wasn't saying much of anything because everybody was having a little bit of a drinky, and that's okay. Hey, no judging whatsoever. And so he was, he was getting a little bit quiet, right? So he turns off his mic, turns off his cam, and, I figure, he probably is going to the bathroom or something like that, leaving Dalek451 and I just talking, right? So he's all the way in merry old England, 7 hours ahead where I'm at, and eventually he has to go, right? All right, fine, not a problem. So, but while he's still on, shortly before he leaves, like, bam, like that, Cardinal Sin is gone. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here, right? Did he just, did his computer crash? Did his computer, go into sleep mode or something like that? I figure, okay, he's probably going to be back on, not a problem. Or he's taking a short little nap. I don't know what's going on, right? So,
and meanwhile, Cardinal Sin's in his car driving to work.
Yeah, or something
with his
like
coffee.
that.
He's just like, fuck this shit.
Wow.
So here I am by myself, trying to keep the chat going. I can't. Phantom Boober tried to come back. I couldn't let him in because it's still Cardinal Sin's channel, right? So I can't let anybody in. He's backstage. He's like typing away. He's like, Then after a while he stopped, right? And I can't share anything on the screen. And I'm kind of like by myself, like still keeping the chat going. So I'm like, okay, it looks like I can kind of share the broadcast. So eventually I ported it over also on my channel. And that's why I was live on Monday. So not only was I talking to people on my channel through Cardinal Sin's channel, but also talking to everybody on Cardinal Sin's channel.
That's funny.
Wow.
So from about 9 o'clock or about at this time, maybe about, 20 past 9:30 in the morning, till about sometime after 6, I'm like dual broadcasting on 2 channels, talking to 2 sets of people on 2 channels, trying to keep a chat going. So I guess by the time I ended it, it was like 5 hours, 40 minutes on my channel and about a little over 19 hours on his channel. And from what everybody has been messaging me, it is the longest running show on Gil's channel to date. Before that, it was like 16 hours. But apparently, this midnight to midnight, it was like a little over 19 hours.
I want to
Wow.
congratulate you for doing that. I mean, that's like,
Seriously.
Oh,
you know,
my God.
the guys had that kind of dedication in like the early days of rock and roll radio. I mean, like you're up there with Murray the K for that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, because I figured on top of that, he was going to come back anytime, right? So I thought, okay, I'll just keep it going until he comes back. And,
That's happened
you know,
to me on another less good, not that good channel that I
Yeah.
wouldn't name, but yeah, I've been stranded for a few hours, but that person just comes back and yells at you.
yeah, exactly, right? The name that won't be named.
Uh,
You know, and,
let's just say it's not relevant.
yeah, exactly, right? And then on top of that, you know, Gil did something for me last year. He really helped me out when I was in a tight pinch. So I owed that much to him to try to keep his show going for as long as humanly possible. So, you know, one good turn deserves another, right? So,
You know, and that's what I think I said this last time. When I live in such a huge city, it makes me have faith in humanity because I see like something like what you do, you would have to see on YouTube. But every day I see like 300,000 cars, like each person letting one person in so that everybody can get somewhere. So, I mean, I
Yeah.
think people are essentially good and that you guys created some great entertainment. And wow, congratulations on the record. A record that will not stand for long.
probably. So,
What,
let's see. Gap here says Crusader reminds me of Johnny Fever, WKRP in Cincinnati.
didn't Fever stay awake on the air for like 2 days?
I think so.
And
So,
like, see, people don't understand that WKRP in Cincinnati was actually a good show.
it was a good show.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know it from reruns because the music's been cut out for rights.
Oh, yeah,
So-
that's right.
So,
Yeah.
so what happens is when you watch WKRP in Cincinnati, it's got a lot of commercials to fill up the time. So, like, and it just doesn't seem like it was a high quality show. But meanwhile, like the thing was, they were supposed to be a bad radio station.
Yeah.
So they didn't play Led Zeppelin and The Who, but their bad music was like U2, right? Like that was like
Yeah.
they played a lot of U2.
Oh,
They played the
God.
fucking Clash. And like they're actually like the greatest fucking radio station in the world.
Yep.
That was a decent show, but yeah, because the music was so part of it, and like and a show that kind of showed us that we were going to get an MTV.
Yeah, totally right. James Concerta says, I think everyone should have a channel going all the time. Well, actually, there
Hard
there
to
are
do.
there are
North
some
Korean
channels-
propaganda channel is always on.
Yeah, that's right. 24
Those, like,
hours a day,
Those
7 days a
little
week.
kid, there's these little kid programs that have like live red T-Rex fights rainbow T-Rex because rainbow T-Rex stole their cookies or something. I've
Yeah.
seen, and like then there's the Jurassic World evolution videos where they're just showcasing the mods. Literally the Hulk T-Rex, the Spider-Man Spinosaurus. It's weird.
Let's see. Foggy Brains, he says, yeah, bringing back memories of our DJ days back at UNB. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, you're totally right. Holy crap. That was wild stuff, man. Jeez. Yeah, because for a while, way back when, I was on, we were on University Radio, Foggy Brains and I, and we each had an hour-long show, and frig, that was fun. Let's see. J.J. Abrams says, Shout Factory released the complete series of WKRP that has the most of the original music. Oh, really?
Not all, but most.
Ooh.
Okay, that's getting closer. Getting
Yeah.
closer.
Yeah.
That would be a good set to get.
Yeah, this is how the board
I don't
started.
even know if you can buy it.
I don't
even
know.
if you can buy it.
I'll have to have a look. So, okay. Well, let's see here. As usual,
This is how the
we
Borg
do.
started. James Caserta. James Caserta is poking the bear. He wants I'm not going to do it. I told myself I wouldn't do this. The Borg
Yep.
assimilated one of my crew.
nice.
Oh no.
So what we do here, every show, every time, to start out with a good laugh, we start out with stupid news of the week. So it's nice that I have a full room going on here so far. So we're going to be sharing this here today. From
can't
the
wait.
Independent, woman who marries herself considers divorce after 24 hours.
That is not as nearly as cool as when my buddy did that to some stripper in Vegas.
Oh, there you go, right? You have to
Yeah.
really hate yourself that bad to consider marrying yourself and then divorcing yourself after 24 hours.
Well,
What
you
is
get
that?
free stuff, right? You have to work to pay for yourself so you could stay at home and do nothing all day.
Well, yeah, that's true. But then again, who gets all the stuff? You or you?
It's hard to say, right? The court should probably, you know, what would be good is the courts should mandate people who have like minor crimes who are in low security prisons to go get a minimum wage job to pay for your expenses, so you can just be
Yeah.
yourself.
There you
Just be
go.
yourself.
And-
Looks like she needs to be herself. I would
Yeah.
I would marry her for 24 hours and divorce her too, by the way. She looks like about 24 hours worth of fun. I'd like to see the lower body before I absolutely commit to that, but
Exactly. Plus, on top of that, you don't know if she's using a filter or not. Probably not. I don't know.
all right, I'm just gonna say it. They're gonna fire the Genesis device next week. You know it, and I know it.
Yeah, this is true. I'm sorry.
And, oh, hey, you know
That's
what?
where we
I got a cool announcement to make about saving Star Trek.
Do
It
you?
looks.
Oh.
it look- well, there's some secret special guest negotiations going on, so there might be someone who has maybe some notoriety, and of course you're more than welcome to join us if you can get there. But when we
Yeah.
wrap up Picard for the Sunday show, we've got Anti-Derivative Jill.
Nice.
We figured. We
Oh,
wanted
that
to
being
get it-
said,
Oh, go
James Concerta said, yeah, Jill's going to be queen. Yeah, so
I
Queen
just
Borg.
came back
Yeah.
after like talking with my mother. What are we looking at?
Well, Jill really has been a desirable panelist during this time of new Star Trek because she's so
Yeah.
well versed in the old. So
She
you've
is.
got basically a lore expert, and I know that when I do the anti-derivative Jill Star Trek show, when I am a panelist on that, she's like the nicest. She's the most generous host, and she really gets through those chats. She answers pretty much even the crazy ones from me.
Yep. But yeah, as soon as I saw this,
My brain
Yeah,
is hurting very badly.
I know, right? It's like, did she end up cheating with somebody? So found somebody new? I don't know. I can't.
She
I
found
wanna-
someone new.
Was this in the United States or is this somewhere like Austria?
Well, let's see. Considering the email address, the web address, it's from the UK, so it's quite possibly from the UK.
Okay, this
So-
is what I have an outside idea of the problem. An outside idea. You ready? So they don't actually have a constitution, the British.
This is true. Yeah.
They have
So-
a document that's now about, I guess it's 912 years old. Is that about right? Or 903
something
years
like
old?
Yeah, something like
Oh,
that.
yeah. And we got Penny in the chat too. Hell, Penny.
And basically, like, a lot of stuff just either is implied because you guys, the British have more common law than anything else. Like, if you've
Yep.
ever heard the term, like, and listen, guys, I guess I could save a lot of people out of trouble now. If you're living with your girlfriend and it's been like 9.5 years and it's still not working out, move out or you're going to end up married to her because it's called a common law wife.
Yeah, that's true.
And then almost everything in the world, or everything in the United States, is governed by the common law because we're a British, derived system. But
Yeah.
the British have more common law than anyone else. So
They
that's
do.
what's going on.
Phantom Outsider. So, okay. So, what's the reason for the divorce? Is it spousal abuse?
Because she
I want the
can.
judge. I want the
Because
judge
she
to
can.
issue a restraining order where she can't come within 50 yards of herself.
You got to wonder if the Independent
Um,
paid for the wedding reception. I mean,
Probably.
this is just it's ridiculous.
And Gap After Dark. Yeah, hey Penny, we're talking about
You know what?
a woman who married herself. She's on screen right now. Wants to divorce herself. Yeah, that's right.
They're
So,
weird. Their weird pile of post-it notes that the British call the Constitution of their country is so fucked up that we could just. Why don't we sue her for pain and suffering for making us read this story? Because we
exactly.
have standing in that court.
Yep.
As soon as this, okay, I'm
But
just so. My brain is. I'm. You broke. You have broken the mind of mine, and I'm so shocked. Out of my head.
yes,
No.
but if you think that's weird,
Have you
well, I've
seen the
got something.
pencil? That's weird. My channel's weird. I'm kidding.
Have I got something new for you? So,
I'm
from the New
scared.
York Post, I have the world's biggest
Ew.
lip. Now I want to set the cheekbones record.
Okay, why?
No, mental illness really needs to be treated.
Her lips look
See?
like a fucking orangutan's ass.
Maybe a
that's
baboon
horrible.
if she were.
Baboon, yeah, that's the one. I'm sorry, I got my monkeys confused.
Yeah, there you go.
They're
That's funny.
apes. They're not monkeys. They're apes.
You got that right too. So I got my animals confused too.
It's a
They're not
face
apes,
only.
They're not
It's
apes.
a face
they're,
only a grouper could love.
they're not apes. They're demi-humans.
Yeah, exactly. But
What the fuck? This is the face of mental illness.
Yes.
Exactly. That
why do people think this is normal? I don't get this.
Because they'll get it in the New York Post, the biggest freak show newspaper in the entire world. As I walk to work in the morning and they put the Post on the newsstand, I have no choice but to look at it.
Yeah.
And it's always the best. Like New York Times is just like blah blah blah, fiduciary indications, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Right? The Daily News, it's like will be something like hero cop stops crime. You know what I mean? Like a little
Nothing
bit
is
like
more
uplifting.
scarier than
Exactly.
And the New York Post will be like 7 children die in tenement fire. Like it's news, but like they like spray it across the front and put like the pictures of the kids, and then they'll cover the funeral. It's just like they are the worst, most horrible. Like look what they're doing. They're
They are,
incentivizing
yeah.
this insanity.
Exactly.
my eyes are bleeding.
Yeah, read the
Get
Daily
Back to
News.
Back says,
That's
yeah,
what everyone
they
else
look like
reads.
those. They look like those crazy wax candy lips that we used to eat as kids. Upon closer inspection, they look
That
like
is
two
true.
hot dogs put together to make lips.
That is also true. Or 4 Vienna
I
sausages.
I love the New York Post.
You know what? Honestly, this is
Oh,
the thing this is why there's a New York Post. This paper loses $1 million a week.
Yep.
But the truth is this: no one reads it. It's on the newsstand to frighten and upset you. But if you do pick up a copy of the New York Post, start with the back page because one, their sports coverage is actually really, really, really good.
Oh,
and
there
I'm
you go.
thinking about our pal, the Lost Wanderer right now because it's not hockey, but it's the L.A. Angels are playing the Yankees, and
Right.
is he always wearing the Anaheim hat or whatever?
Yeah.
She's more scarier than the plot of the Godzilla 1998 movie.
Phantom Outsider says all someone needs to do is temporarily put hot dogs on their lips and drive her crazy. At the end of the day, you can eat those hot dogs. She's stuck with that mug.
When my asshole looked like this, I had laser surgery.
There you go. Tim the Enchanter, the monster under the bed nightmares. It's all about what's on the
gentlemen. Older guys get them, all right?
I think she's been making out with a hornet, but instead of using kissing its mouth, it's kissing its butt.
Probably. It's all.
You know what,
but guys?
I look at the outside
all
to judge
about
the inside.
It's all
of
about
this
what's on
person.
the inside. That's right.
You know what? It is all about what's at the inside, but we're not looking at like, okay, she's a little heavy, but I still love her. We're looking at like a million bad choices piled up in a row. Like this is like, Amy
Yeah.
Schumer is like a great alternative to this. That's how bad it is.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. Oh, hey, Guatemalan Rooster. Hola, Yol. Good Lord, what is that? Do we need to get rid of it before it lays eggs?
Hell, Guatemalan Rooster. You have one of my
Hell,
favorite
dude.
YouTube handles.
Penny, I just have to ask you, as so far the only woman in the chat, what do you think besides ouch? As a woman, would you do this? I I I would love to get your insight. So
I just want to say,
Oh,
Guatemalan
my God.
rooster sounds like a pretty sophisticated spy.
it does.
Honestly, it's
It
like
does.
who tell them it, oh, please don't kill me. I'm not going to kill you. But you
No.
tell you, and then like he blows off like half his fingers. He's like, you tell your boss, Guatemalan rooster says hello.
Exactly. He's our cock of the walk here. So,
Great name.
Gap After Dark, Teague, how dare you invoke Amy Schumer like the Candyman?
Look at this picture, and I'm just gonna say Amy Schumer is an alternative to this. I mean, look at this. When my asshole turned into this because I had hemorrhoids, I paid thousands of dollars to be in immense pain so that they could laser that off.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and this woman paid money to have that. How does she eat? Let's ask some
I don't
practical
know.
That's a
questions.
cry for help.
Yes. Exactly.
Let's apply some. How does she speak?
Blah, 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 blah.
That might be the blessing of the people around her.
Stop it, guys. I'm trying to drink.
And she shaved off her eyebrows, which means that
Yes.
she
Look at
quite
that.
honestly,
Look at
is
that.
gets rid of most of your humanity. Remember the movie Powder
Yes.
and how
There
freaky
you go.
Powder looked because he had no
Look at
eyebrows.
that. Yeah. Look at that.
I saw a guy at work today who had no eyebrows. It was really fucked up. He was a really
it
nice
is.
guy, and I
Yeah.
was talking to him, but he had he just had a couple of straight crazy hairs.
Foggy brains, I swear. You didn't take the gummy yet, but looking at that, I am stoned or what the hell? What in the blue hell is
You
going
might want to
on?
wait till this
Burn it
picture
with
goes
fire.
away before you do any kind of drugs. I mean, this is
Oh,
the
God.
kind of thing. Like when I took mushrooms, if I saw this picture, I think I'd cry.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There's a positive. Gap After Dark. I see a little hole there for a straw. Yeah. Yeah.
She also she doesn't
Not
look like she doesn't look like the wafiest lady.
Zoom out of that damn thing every second.
I would like to see a full body shot of what this person is, because I'm assuming the surgery is body wide, right? I mean, and you know
I'm
what? The
assuming.
doctor who did this should be arrested because this is body dysmorphia and mental illness. And I'm going to make a speculation that this woman does not live in America.
Yeah. Let's see, Phantom Outsider. That lady's worst nightmare would be being captured by the Spaceballs and being given her old nose back.
Oh God.
Okay, that's enough.
So that's
Jeez.
enough
All
of that.
right, yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.
Oh.
Disney Sheepherder, how's your work day going? Oh, wow, there you go. Pop culture mechanic. Wow, just tuned in, and that is a nightmare fuel.
I
It's
have
better than
have a
much
favorite.
better than last week's story. That's for sure.
Well, this is
Yeah,
true.
like what,
Yeah.
what was the purpose of showing us that horrible picture? Is this like the Voight Kampf test? Are you getting readouts on whether or not like I'm a bot? Because I'm a bot.
Because I love you guys so much.
I have a favorite. Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So I've been like before my original account got deleted, I was like hyping up my film,
Right.
Rise of Rodimus Prime. No one here has seen it. Could you maybe pull it up and see how everyone reacts with the question?
I could probably do that a little later.
Do you promise not to
to?
content strike him for it?
All I'm gonna say is you have to skip the title card because it has one song that will kill him.
Oh yeah. Well, then I would probably get dinged. So.
Well, it got me blocked, but I fought it. It was Patient Number 9 by Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah. Then I would definitely get.
That's
dinged.
the only good song on that album.
It is too. So.
That is the only song that will affect you, and then we have like some other songs that never affected me, and they won't affect you. So let's fingers crossed.
So Disney Sheepherder, how's your week been, dude?
I'm sorry.
How's your week been?
It's been a good week. Yeah, did you notice that the issues with Florida and DeSantis wanting to build a state prison next to Disney?
Really?
That's funny.
I'm dead serious.
Just
So-
imagine those signs as you drive from the airport to Disneyland. Osteal estate, sexual offense. In the state of Florida, sexually based
Yes.
offenses are the norm.
Especially heinous in Florida. The
No,
elite squad uses a special victims unit. Here's their story. I don't know it. I love it.
I think
So
the Florida
I-
Special Victims Unit is like this. In the state of Florida, there is no special
Alligators mug people.
In the state of Florida, the age of consent is so low there is no special victims unit. There are no stories. Boom, boom.
Yeah, so I haven't heard that
Where's
story.
that one
So
scene?
is,
Sorry.
is that actually like a serious story going on right now? Disney Shooter?
Yes.
You
It's
can
a
pull
legit-
that off. I've driven
Ah.
that a million times. I lived in Orlando for a year.
Ah,
And by the way, Disneyland used to be called Orlando until the crime in Orlando made it the Detroit of the East Coast. If anyone has ever been there,
oh,
do
wow.
not leave Lake Buena Vista when you go to Disneyland. Go to Dr. Pepper, Florida, and go to Universal Studios. It's a better park. Go on
That's
the
a-
rides, and then
Uh,
try to get into Holy Land, the experience on acid. That was pretty fun.
There you go. Gap After Dark, Disney SVU. Yeah.
It's actually not a bad idea.
James Caserta,
In the
next
Hall of
exit,
Presidents, sexually based
Disneyland
crimes.
and Florida State Prison.
Yeah.
My week, this week has been
Oh.
kind of
That was
iffy.
actually,
You know, I gotta say, I saw a sex
This
offender,
Disney
a
World.
known sex offender at Disneyland.
Yeah, it's
Now
going
that I
hand
think
in
about
hand,
it,
right?
I
So-
was there when they
Okay.
were showing Captain EO.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw Captain EO, directed by George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, written by George Lucas, directed by Steven Spielberg.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's in the Indiana Jones universe.
So, so what's been going? What else been going on, Disney?
well, I finally made my first video.
Nice,
All right.
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. But it wasn't what I was wanting to do. What happened was, if I can say this guy's name, y'all know Snowdub, right?
Right.
Yes, yes.
Well, me and him, I never got into the video stuff, but me and him, we would always communicate and talk on Twitter. And well, he made a odd comment about a former presidential candidate, and they took his account.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
did he?
okay.
Was their case he suggested harm? I don't know what their justification
It
was.
was a
Oh, and
it was a
And
harsh
free snow
joke.
dub. Free snow dub.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was a
free
harsh joke, but it wasn't nothing you don't see on Twitter or Twatter every
Yeah.
day. And even
Twatter.
worse by people who got hundreds of thousands or millions of followers.
ah,
I kind of went
oh,
off.
and
Well, he already has more than me with his new account.
I don't
I
have
just wanna
Twitter,
say-
so I don't know how
and I
this
just want to
works.
say, hail to Stark of Iron. That just showed up in the chat too.
Yeah,
so
I
hail
just
to
saw
you.
that.
And
Yeah.
Phantom Boomer, hail to you, dude. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Wait, what? What were we talking about?
And so Pop Culture Republic, how's your week been?
Oh, not bad. Dealing with desktop computer issues, so I'm on
I
a
saw that. I'm
9-year-old.
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on a 9-year-old laptop now. Have no idea how my audio sounds.
No, it
It's
sounds
actually,
pretty good.
it's fine. Yeah.
Okay,
It's
good,
decent.
good, decent.
Yeah.
I mean, still don't make any
I
sense.
always-
but
Yeah, I always strive for decent.
Well, yeah, no, you sound good, man. At least
if
to me.
only
cool.
you were the writer of Picard.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
You've got like every other letter.
Yeah. Yes, you do. Super Goji Reviews, how's your week been?
I think he's
Okay.
muted.
Admiral Teague, how's your week been?
I've already booked over 30 hours of work.
Wow.
You are
Yeah,
a trooper.
after I go to work tomorrow, I don't think I'm going to take any more jobs for the rest of the week. I think I'm going to sleep,
Oh, yeah.
which means I'll be wide awake for a great watch through of the final episode of what was billed as the finale of the Next Generation. And you know, Mike, remember how long we've been longing for a closure on this story? You know that we
Yes.
never got. Which of the 4 Data deaths is your favorite? Right?
I mean, we're getting closure.
Or is it? I guess
Real
it's three.
closure.
It's three
Yeah.
deaths. I'm sorry. The many deaths of Mr. Well, it's four if you count the time he had his head separated. But the many
Right.
deaths of Mr. Data.
Oh, God. Yeah, I gotta think. I mean, okay. I will say Nemesis was all right, although disappointing.
It's all right. Well, the most of the movie sucked. It
Yeah.
was only
Yeah, I
that
mean, they
moment,
did suck,
and that
yeah.
moment was done poorly too. He was acting the fuck out of it as Data.
Yeah.
He was, and I don't think he's that good as a human being.
No.
No.
God, I gotta think now. Because I've really got
Well,
to
you know what? I'll help you out. While you're thinking, I'll volunteer
Okay.
mine. In
All right.
Picard season 1, which is an absolute masterpiece, and that absolutely happened. It absolutely happened. Brought to you by the people who made the Rings of Power. Okay, now they put out a lot of misinformation, so that there was a good case to say that it didn't happen, but they kind of reconfirmed it, and then they set up a new set of circumstances which now contradict all of that.
Right.
So
They can't keep their story straight.
well, here's the question that if you guys check out my new upload, Star Trek Stockholm Syndrome, it's been going through my fleet.
Yep.
What happens is, you need to feel as though something that you cherish is in danger, and then you'll start to become compliant. And what happened was someone had applied a medical analogy to me. To me!
Right.
All right, saying
Yeah.
that I was a victim for not enjoying what was called by them a gift from Mr. Metalis or Terry Metalis.
Yeah. Yeah.
It caused a lot of problems.
However, Gap says to you, Teague, admit it, you went Janeway, hot Janeway.
You know what? Even at what is she? How old is she in the first season of Voyager? Like 46.
I'm gonna say in her 40s. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
she's
think
still
so.
did you guys know that I mean, this might just be garbage lies, but in the Star when that show was on, it was like she walked on the set and seduced the director. I'm sorry, the showrunner. I don't know how true that is, but apparently, even though she talks like she has TBI, she's pretty sexy. And
I
Remo
remember
Williams
her-
liked her.
I remember her back in a couple of issues as Cheers, on Cheers.
She's
as
in
well.
Cheers a couple of times. I forget what her character was. Was she just some date for Sam?
She was a politician that was dating Sam.
Okay.
And and basically just, because, he was an ex-baseball, pitcher. Or
He only
whatever it
played
was.
one inning.
Yeah, exactly. And essentially using him for looks.
And I don't think he recorded a strike or an out. He was pulled from the game after walking 8 straight on whatever.
Oh, God.
Sam Malone, that's why he became an alcoholic. He froze in
Pluto,
this big moment.
listen, look at this. Pluto TV announced P card on their service. Are you kidding
Wow.
me?
So now it's just been giving away for free on an app. It's a CW
Damn.
show. And by the way, do we ever have more executive producers than cast? Have you ever seen 19 people on screen?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that on Discovery. I think
Discovery is the
has.
same brute,
Damn.
Yeah.
brute of liars.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, Miss Columbo. Yeah, that's right.
She was Mrs. Columbo, but
yep.
Columbo and her were never in the same show at the same time. It was a really weird thing.
Yeah.
You guys know this one series? It's called Walking with Dinosaurs. It's from 1999. It's a documentary series. It was widely regarded. It was like revolutionary because it had CGI and practical effects. It was really good.
Right.
Isn't Mrs. Columbo Janeway famous for Mary Hartman,
I think so.
and other crazy shows from the 70s like that?
I have to look that up.
Yeah, I'd
I
have to
just
look
know
up
that
as
whenever
well.
she
That's-
speaks, you can tell that there's something going on in the frontal lobe.
Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne's
Yeah.
speech isn't that affected.
No, this is true. Oh,
And
God,
I
yeah,
mean,
tell me about it.
do anyone care to guess if Janeway might just be from New England? Who? Maybe, right?
I think you might be right. Yes.
I might be
So,
onto something. Seem to detect a
so.
Boston accent there.
So let's see. Let's get on to a little bit of news here because I found this rather interesting. Plus, on top of that, it
Comic
was
Relief Crusader merch
also.
leak.
What's
I
that?
only get my news when I come on this show.
Oh, do you?
This
Okay.
is the only piece of news I take with me through the entire week.
Oh,
Ah,
forgot to mention. I
super.
was going to say, Legacy Armada Optimus Prime was officially revealed today, and it's been leaked for like about 5 months, and now it's officially revealed to the public.
Oh, nice. Super.
It's weird how we knew about it, and it takes them like 5 months to reveal it because the first ever review of it is a stolen copy from the factories.
Ooh, I love
Because
those
people
stolen
are.
copies.
There's also, I remember seeing eBay listings for just the core robot for like $295 just for that
Wow.
one little figure. Not the trailer. It only had the figure and the gun, nothing else.
Huh. That's not too shabby then. This was suggested to me by my good friend Foggy Brains here. Has to do with a documentary that's coming up on Netflix, and I thought, yeah, seeing how this is kind of making the rounds all over Facebook, YouTube, all over the place, I thought I'd kind of touch on it. And this also has to do with that website, change.org, about removing a petition calling on Netflix to cancel the race-swapped Queen Cleopatra docuseries due to the historical inaccuracies, claims it violated community guidelines. Oh, yes, I'm sure. So,
I'm still waiting
yeah,
to hear about new Little Mermaid
so,
movie.
so let's get this straight. She's Ptolemaic.
yeah.
She's a
Well,
Ptolemaic Greek. Well,
Yep.
no, she's Ptolemaic.
Ptolemaic. Yes. Yes.
Because she's descended directly from Ptolemy, who was a
Yep.
general to Alexander the Great.
That's right.
Yeah, forgive Admiral Sargon here as I go into the history. So at any rate, she was Greek by descent. Alexander gave that country to his general. Most of his generals lost their holdings as they squabbled and warred, but this guy had Egypt, so he was pretty well set up. And they stay independent maybe longer than any Alexandrian spinoff. But
Oh, hold on a
it's-
second here. We got somebody actually new to the channel here. Hojo. Welcome, Hojo. How's it going? Glad you discovered this new channel here.
Hit the
just talk
subscribe button.
welcome.
We just
Hojo.
have we just have a lot of fun on this channel talking about current news that's in movies and entertainment and comics and TV, and we just shared some funny news.
And figures. Don't forget the figures. Don't forget the figures.
And we also share some funny news at the beginning of this stream. So kind of be lucky that you missed that because it might have burned your eyeballs out. Although as funny as it was,
That's why Disney Sheepherder is wearing welder's glasses.
yeah, that's true too. So, but stay tuned for the 1 hour mark because, yeah, we'll have.
Oh, I can't. Well, I'm already
break on
thinking
top of that.
about I'm already thinking about Omega Mart.
Ah, there we go. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yes, carry on, Admiral Teague. Yes, she's Ptolemaic Greek.
All right. So the thing is, she's of lineage that was white, but I don't know. Like they last the longest of all of Alexander's guys as far as their dynasty, and then their dynasty is sort of puppeteered by the Romans for a little while. So, with all the intermarrying and political stuff, like she may have been this black by this point, but it's not how we think of Cleopatra, and it's not how pop culture sees Cleopatra. So unless this movie is a very historical recreation where we talk about things like how we moved stone hundreds of miles up a river, where you're going to try to say we have some DNA from some mummies, because we do. And then you want to make this assertion and show this, I would feel one way about it. But in this context, it seems to me that they're just people are mad that the Queen of Egypt isn't black when there's a 50-50 chance she probably wasn't.
True. So the article goes here. Latest proof that denial is not just a river in Egypt. Change.org has removed a campaign calling on Netflix to cancel their recent announced Queen Cleopatra docuseries due to its blatant historical inaccuracy on the grounds that it supposedly violated the public petition platform's community guidelines. Oh, sure it did. Where haven't we heard that
No.
before?
Well,
yeah.
both you and I
Yeah.
saw the security camera footage of when she had herself rolled up in the carpet to get to Caesar, right, Mike?
Exactly,
Mean, this is a
yeah.
white lady.
I mean, it's
I'm
all
just gonna
over.
say it. We're Highlanders. Mike and I are Highlanders. You know who was on top of Silver Cup Studios last night? I didn't get there in time, but he killed someone else. Biden was up there, man.
Aye, that's right. I did it, and I'm proud.
He felt the quickening.
Yep, I did. So
Biden is the oldest of the Highlanders.
there can be only one. So, the second entry in producer Jada Pinkett Smith's African Queen series. Well, of course, yeah.
Oh, what a gift! Now
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'm watching Mike. We have to watch him review this.
Yes, because I don't
We
want to
have
get
to.
slapped. So
You know what? We could always be, if people ever say like you guys are like, like right wing bigots, we could be like, we reviewed the Nefertiti series.
Yeah, exactly. We will. I think
we,
I will.
We watched Jada Pinkett Smith's show.
Yeah.
Who else
Queen
could say that?
Cleopatra will sell out to tell the story of Queen Cleopatra, the most famous, powerful, and misunderstood woman, a daring queen whose beauty and romances came to overshadow her real asset, her intellect.
Yeah, I love this.
So-
It really cleared up the ambiguity about her looks.
Yeah, exactly right. Cleopatra's heritage has been the subject of much academic debate. That is
I doubt
sort of
it.
kind of true. Yeah.
Well, maybe.
I just gave you guys the actual truth as it was taught to me as a history major at Stony Brook. So
There you
that's
go.
what they're saying.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's right. Admiral Teague, not just a pretty face. So,
Also, yeah, a useless intellectual. I'm like C-3PO, but like less brave.
yeah, maybe. Which has often been ignored by Hollywood, reads the series' original synopsis. Now our series reassesses this fascinating part of her story. Oh, it reassesses. Oh,
I just want to say, except for Cleopatra 3939, which was a great TV show from 1998 that I'm sure
Oh,
you were
God,
aware
yeah.
of. Yeah,
Yeah,
remember
I
that show?
remember
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
no one here masturbated to that show. We remember it. But
yeah.
it's come on, Cleopatra.
Yeah.
This isn't she
Oh.
sort of like the intellectual franchise that you just don't have to pay for? You know what I mean?
I think so. Phantom Outsider, he's got it. They wouldn't have dared done this if Liz Taylor was still alive.
Oh, that's what I meant to
That's
say.
right.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's the only Cleopatra show to have made money. Cleopatra
Yeah.
the movie tanked two studios, the studio that made it and the studio that bought it.
Yep. Wasn't it like the most expensive, at the time, the most expensive movie made?
It was the most
Cleopatra?
expensive budget, and then they fucking
Yes.
blew that up. And
Yeah.
what happened was they found out that bringing in finely talented British stage actors to act in 120 millimeter, because remember, this is the age of like, it was almost IMAX, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
without the height, which is the one thing I actually hate about IMAX, which is
I
why
know.
I'm not going to see Picard on IMAX. Not because
No.
I hate it or because I won't pay money for it, but because of it's an IMAX. But
Yeah.
the Cleopatra movie lost a ton of money,
did.
ruined careers. It took years for people to come back from that movie. Liz Taylor, people wondered, maybe if her career was going to survive. Martin Landau, the levels down to TV after that. I mean, it
Yeah.
fucked people up.
Yeah.
It did. It did.
Yep.
They said
I
the
think Martin
problem
Landau was
that-
pretty much, I think he made up
Isn't it?
pretty good, being reduced to TV though. He had a pretty.
he
good
made
career.
it back to movies, and he was always thought of
Yeah.
as this guy who had been in so many good movies. Because the problem with Cleopatra was not that the movie was so bad; it was that it was so bloated, cost so much, and went so over budget, and was so poorly
Yeah.
conceived. But the thing is, if you want to watch an overly long movie with some great practical props of stuff that probably didn't look that way, I mean, you got to see this movie. It is actually a decent watch.
Oh yeah.
Rex
And this-
Harrison from Song and Dance Man. Rex Harrison as military strongman, ruthless Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
If he could
I gotta
talk to
tell
the
ya.
animals,
I gotta tell you, Liz Taylor looked good in that
That
movie.
was the definition of looking, and all our handmaidens were absolutely smoking too. It was
Oh,
they
yeah.
were not afraid. You know what? A lot like the Phantom Menace in some ways.
Phantom Outsider says during downtime during the filming of Cleopatra, Roddy McDowell and Richard Burton both did scenes in The Longest Day.
Richard Burton acts
Really?
horrible in The Longest Day as well. And are you familiar with this movie? Is anyone familiar with The Longest Day? It's like a lot of people's favorite military movie.
Yes.
No.
Somewhat.
Have not seen it.
There's a well-known historian called Cornelius Ryan. He also wrote A Bridge Too Far. The books are great. He's a great writer. But the thing is, they rushed out this movie to get it out in the 20th anniversary of D-Day.
Right.
So at the beginning of the movie, while they're giving the all-important speech about how, like, we're going to have to stop the invasion at the water's edge, the blue screen gives out, and Rommel is standing just in front of pure gray, and then it kind of flickers back in, and they act like it doesn't happen. Like, they needed to lose the scene. Just have some American explain it, pointing at a map. The better Cornelius Ryan movie's A Bridge Too Far.
Okay.
That's actually a good movie. Both are Sean Connery movies, arguably.
Good to know. Let's see. Let's have a look at this trailer here. So we'll just pause it like maybe every 5 seconds or so.
Oh, we're going to transform. I love this.
Was a time long ago.
Really? Was it long ago?
When women ruled with unparalleled power. As warriors,
bitch, you
queens,
fluked into power.
mothers of nations.
You killed your brother.
What?
She killed
What?
She killed her brother. She's
Yeah.
she's the most likely suspect in the plot that had her brother killed.
Now, okay, how many other women warriors were there at the time?
Well, we had the Woman King.
What? Oh yeah, but that was like much later on.
Was
That
it? I
basically
don't know when that takes place.
enslaved. Yeah, not too long.
I'm
ago,
a Highlander,
basically
but I
enslaved a
wasn't
lot of her.
alive. Yeah, I'm a Highlander,
Yeah.
but I wasn't alive this far back.
And you know what? I don't remember any other famous queens at the time.
No.
When Cleopatra was around. No, I don't think
Well,
so.
Freddie Mercury.
Okay.
And Elizabeth
Oh,
II. Elizabeth II was only about middle age
yeah,
point that this
yeah.
movie takes place.
That's true. Okay.
There's none of them more I. Cleopatra.
Well,
Can I
let's
ask
see.
you a question?
I would die for historical accuracy.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, you may.
Is this trailer continuing the trend of it's a 90s song that we liked, but it's one monotone note and a woman sings it in a disinterested voice? Because it seems like that's where that's going.
Pretty much.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
I'm not on board with this one.
Nope.
Much like that ship in Star Trek that can only say one note.
But, you know, speaking of Star Trek, just for 1 second there, in Picard, when New Jack reveals he has like the Force and that he's Anakin Skywalker, and he does, by the way. Do you think I'm kidding? There's not one note of music to help him out.
Yeah.
They just threw that poor actor to the dogs.
They did.
And fucking people are like, it's a gift from Mr. Metalis. Yeah. You belong. Super fun sites, chemicals, the New York Jets. Let me tell you something, Terry Metalis. You fucking belong in New Jersey, all right? He only comes to the third richest town in the whole state.
Back to the trailer.
We have
what
to.
Would I? Maybe yes, because it fills up time. So, and I did a lot of time yesterday. So,
when does she happen?
So, yeah. Well, let's see. I don't know. What would I die for?
Probably
Probably historical
Cleopatra.
accuracy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am Isis. I am a god.
As alive. He is Pharaoh.
My father's will names me co-ruler of Egypt.
Julius Caesar is aware that Cleopatra is one of the best educated women in the Mediterranean.
Well, yeah,
That makes
because
sense.
if you're like essentially Pharaoh, Yeah, you're
Yeah.
educated by everyone and everything. You know what?
By
One
the
of
way-
the interesting things is with the Egyptian pharaohs is that in order to approach the pharaoh, they actually had steps that you had to step up to the pharaoh. And from what I heard from a long time ago, that each step you because the pharaoh was very well versed in many many different languages, that each step you would have to greet the pharaoh in a different language at that time.
Oh.
Oh, I would have
Yes,
sent
in
him a
order
letter.
to approach him. Well, yeah, probably. So, Disney Shebert, yeah, that makes a lot.
Call 1-800
Nice, Disney.
Mix-a-Lot.
Nice.
Sir Mix-a-Lot's cover of Iron Man with Metal Church, not bad.
Yes. Oh yeah, there you go, Gap. Yeah. Oh, Cleopatra has a British accent. Imagine that. Yeah.
Yep.
She's
Because
not British.
everybody in the because everybody in the documentary has a British accent.
Yeah.
You should know that.
Yeah.
It's like docu-series physics. So,
No, we all know from the original movie that Cleopatra had like a New York accent.
yeah, exactly.
Isn't that
Hey,
what Liz
walking
Taylor
over
was-
here.
Where was Liz Taylor from? No, I mean seriously. No, I mean there's two New York accents. There's the really wealthy one too.
Yes. The yeah.
Wants to be king to Cleopatra's queen.
There is no future without the past.
She was using these relationships with Mark Antony to protect herself and her country.
What? There's no Rome without Egypt?
That's true.
No, it was
because
actually the other way around.
Well, the Romans provided the protection, but here's the thing: in Egypt, you got in like 2 more harvests of wheat than the Romans could get off. So the Romans needed to control it because remember they kept their people happy through bread and circuses. So she actually, and this is by the way, so far this has not deviated from what historians say. It's just very poorly done with bad drums. I'm sorry if I'm bringing anybody down here with this.
No, that's quite fine. But
No.
the thing is that Egypt for quite a long time was pretty decimated as it was. It wasn't a world power anymore, and it was almost
It was a
pretty much
vassal
like a
state of
proxy.
the Romans.
Yeah, exactly. So
By the way, in that time, that was about the best thing you could do.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would just align with them and know that they're going to try to poison you.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Cleopatra was trying to save the country that she loved from destruction.
Was that Din Djarin?
What I had.
Was that Din
What is-
Djarin?
save it from destruction of what?
I don't know, but it reminds me a lot
it was
of
already
that last.
pretty much a proxy state.
It reminds me a lot of the Mandalorian episode I just saw. Like we see
Oh,
a
there you
guy
go,
in
yeah,
armor,
exactly.
and then there's a chick
Because,
kind of telling him what to do.
Yeah. Let's see if they're going to subtitle this when dealing with Caesar. It's likely they'd speak Latin. Yeah, that's true. Since they were subordinate to Rome. Yeah, exactly. Because, whatever the conquering army was, when they conquered a country, you had to speak that language. And that was that. So,
But you got to keep your gods. That you just acknowledge that they were inferior to the gods of the Romans, or you wouldn't have lost the war. And you, having lost the war, very naturally agreed and started asking the Roman god to help you out. That's how the ancient world worked, by the way, people.
Exactly, because the priests followed the money.
By the way, can I just say, if they had music as good as The Mandalorian, we'd be getting a little bit excited for this right now, because it's just like it's everything else about this is kind of ass. I mean, and this she did allegedly, and like we don't know. I mean, the original videotape has been lost, and we just don't know. But like, did she fuck Caesar and have his kid? It seems that way. Was she gonna be? Was the problem that Caesar was already married and it was eroding his popularity in Rome? He was still pretty popular in Rome. He was still pretty popular in Rome. What happened though was he showed his wife up. He brought his girlfriend home with him.
Yep.
They were a militaristic society. They understood that their husbands had other wives in other countries.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
So you got to build up the empire.
I don't know if there's anything wrong with that. I mean, who are we to judge how the Romans did things? They were only, we based
when in
our
Rome.
society on theirs, right?
Yeah,
Who's the girl doing that narration?
I probably Jada Pinkett Smith with a fake English
She
accent.
probably
I
is
don't know.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Well, she sounds like she's from Tennessee.
Yeah, she kind of does.
Then it's not her because Jada Pinkett Smith's from Baltimore.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Okay, carrying on.
This is a woman exercising power.
Cleopatra was a Ptolemaic.
Why is the
very
bad
first
guy white?
There you go! A Ptolemaic ruler, but she wasn't black! You're admitting it right on your trailer, Netflix!
Wow.
Ptolemaic! So she was white-ish. Tan, maybe. Olive skin, more than likely. But she wasn't black, you morons!
Let's get some perspective on this. Ptolemy exists. I'm trying to get a date on him. It's giving me the Roman mathematician.
Right? Yes.
Ptolemaic dynasty. Here we go. And this
okay.
is a dynasty of mathematicians who established the Ptolemaic dynasty. Ptolemy the First Soter, born 367 BC in Macedonia.
Right.
See, this is so when we're talking a white guy, we're talking like a Yugoslavian dude. That's where Macedonia basically is.
Yeah.
And they're badasses, and I think we all know that Macedonian people are about 7 feet fucking tall.
Yep. That's
Which,
right.
by the way, let's think about this: the Romans, they are the shortest people in all of Europe. And
They were.
They ran all of Europe because they were so organized. They were so tactically efficient.
Yep.
Sorry, I get
Ferdinand
swept
Sutter.
up in these kind of things.
No, that's fine because I'd rather have historical accuracy than this tripe.
So let's see. He's 367 BC, right? So I want to see when Cleopatra was. Oh wait, I know. He becomes dictator and only serves about 5 years, 3 to 5 years, in 40 or 44 BC. So we're talking like she is as much after him as we are after the Pilgrims.
Yeah.
So the idea that she was
Quite a
white
while.
or anything else, it's really just like we like the fact that it's so unknown might have been a much more interesting if race matters.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Isn't this coming from someone who says that isn't supposed to really matter? I don't know.
Pretty much. Okay, moving on here.
My wife's name.
I imagine her to have curly hair and a silver skin color.
My grandmother saying, don't care what they tell you in school, Cleopatra was black.
No, she wasn't. Because you know what? There were busts made of her that lasted the centuries. She was not.
May I suggest she probably looked a bit like J-Lo? Complexion-wise.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Probably like
Quite
J-Lo.
possibly.
Not to mention, she would have had a deep, deep tan. Look where she looks. We never take. I mean, she doesn't live very long when she leaves that, and she only goes to Italy. If we made her live in like Germany for like a year, like how fair would her skin have been? Like we don't know.
Yeah. Phantom Sutter. Yeah, the Wokies can't handle the truth. No, they can't. They can't. They want to take. It seems like every bit of whiteness out of everything because white people bad, right? So
well, as a white person myself, I can validate that. That is true, yes. And I'm Spanish, so I'm proud of that. I'm a colonizer, and I just want to say I killed 60 Wakandans. Only the male ones. They were only male Wakandans. I actually got a medal for it from the Queen of Wakanda. Yeah.
Hail Enrod, how's it going, dude?
Oh, hey.
You're on a lunch break? Awesome, man. I'm glad that you could drop in.
Am I the only one who thinks that all Wakandans look the same?
Possibly.
They have shaved heads. They all have shaved heads, right?
Yeah.
They all have Judas Priest backup singer outfits. They all have like steel spears that deploy, and they all like have like a Xeno warrior princess style attack style. And when we
Yeah.
see them, they show up in pairs, but they all dress just like that. And then there's 3 chicks with hair.
Yes, exactly.
And that's, I mean, so to me,
Yeah.
I can't tell any. I mean, I know who the 3 chicks with hair are, but I can't tell. All other Wakandans look the same to me.
Okay, here we go.
She has become an icon.
Queen of King.
Her story resonates with everyone.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Yeah.
Brought to you by Netflix. When it comes to ruining your historical documentaries, Netflix is the place to go. So, it doesn't matter if she's Ptolemaic. Doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter what they teach you in school. Forget school. Forget school nowadays. But forget learning anything that's of any historical accuracy whatsoever. No, she was black. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what anybody says. So I guess by that metric, where Elon Musk comes from South Africa, he's black. He's not white. Right?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so also
historical accuracy is not important. Checking that checkbox is important.
That's right. That's right. Before exactly, let's bring it over there. They'll get it right. So, that's right. I forgot about the 1 hour mark. So we're at 1 hour 6 minutes. So we're just going to take a brief intermission here and bring on our commercial break. So
new commercial.
Go. That's right, new commercial.
Right on.
This week at Omega Mart, Power Wings multi-purpose formula. Buy one, get that one. Butter scented air freshener, now 79 cents off. Plus, for a limited time, get your free set of collector's edition sliced meats. Salami, mortadella, and behind the meat case. All your old favorites.
Wow, that just turned into like Pink Floyd's The Wall movie, like right in the middle. I don't know.
Right.
I love that you played those. They're great, by the way.
I know. Yeah.
What?
That's right. Omega Mart, where meat is meat.
Some celebrity death match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you are not mistaken, my dude. So, Greg, oh, I love these commercials so much. So,
someone out there lost a lot of money to make them. I mean, or they're from SCTV.
Yeah,
it's that kind of humor.
So,
yeah,
it is. So, Phantom Outsider, yeah, mortadella sucks. So.
As an Italian, I can tell you. Mortadella means dead donkey in Italian.
Oh, there you go. Gap after dark. Some of that looked like Terminator poop. So. Lenrod is probably just shaking his head after not being here for quite a long time, wondering like, what the hell was that? So. And Tony Stark should have at least stuck around for a little bit longer after his lunch break. Just to see that. So he'll have to catch it on the replay.
That was priceless right there.
It was, wasn't it, though? So in a statement, getting back to Queen Cleopatra, so in a statement provided to the media in production of the series, Jada Pinkett Smith argued, "We don't often get to see or hear stories about black queens. Well, didn't we just see a movie like last year about the king woman, the woman king, or whatever it was? And that was entirely historically accurate. Yeah.
Yes, right up there with
Inaccurate, I should say.
Vikings
Sorry.
Valhalla, where they have a
Yes.
race and gender swapped
Oh my
Viking
God.
queen.
Yes. Like what? Yeah, and that it was really important for me as well as for my daughter and just for my community to be able to know those stories because there are a ton of them. Well, then why aren't you telling those stories? Why do you have to like rape and pillage an actual historical figure that was a Ptolemaic Greek? So, Cleopatra is a queen who many know who many know about, but not in her truth. Oh, now it's her truth, right? She added.
Wow, all
She's
these
been-
code
did you-
words.
Do you remember when the state of Maryland closed down that school that her and her husband ran for miseducating like 6 or 8 years worth of kids who couldn't read or write and giving them
No.
degrees?
Do
You
tell.
don't remember that fucking shit?
No, I don't actually.
Will Smith and Jada. Have you ever seen interviews with their kid? Either their kids?
No, because
No.
they're
No.
retarded enough as it is.
They went to the school.
Mm-hmm.
There was for a long time the rumor was it's the New Village Academy was the name of the school,
Right.
apparently. Will Smith applied to MIT. Yeah, that's like I can apply to be an astronaut. But I forget it.
My brain.
Okay, yeah,
Tim the Enchanter. What did I just see? This is what you've been missing out for the past 3 weeks. Those
Yes.
commercials. So there you go.
It looks like if we overlooked any like racial implications at all, it still didn't look like it was such a great movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Or even like enjoyable.
Let's see. Phantom Outsider. My mother's side of the family were Italian. Her mother's maiden name was Gargano, as in the Gargano Mountains in Italy. Oh, really, Phantom Outsider? That's interesting. So
that is cool.
Yeah, Lenrod. Cleo Pantsless is more entertaining. Cow and chicken. I remember that episode. Jeez. Oh, frig. So she added she's been displayed as overtly sexual, excessive, and corrupt, yet she was a strategist, an intellect, a commanding force of nature. No, she was not a commanding force of nature. For the love of God, you make it sound like she's like Storm from the X-Men, for Pete's sake, who fought to protect her kingdom. Her heritage is highly debated. From who? From you only, or something like that? This season will dive deeper into her history and reassesses this fascinating part of her story. Oh, for frig's sake.
We probably have her lineage because they carved shit into stone.
Yeah.
Right? And she was kind of an important chick. And that dynasty goes on. Like, that's one dynasty. It goes from one to blah, 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 blah. I mean, they believe in adoption and all that. But, I mean, I don't know. I think it's because it's 360 years after her father is born that she takes the throne. You can debate her lineage just because it spans so much time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
That's true.
It's like a clever manipulation of the words. It's like, without lying, we introduce a concept that's like it's like a soft untruth.
Yeah. So here, like I'm gonna share something right here. Okay. Now I want you to tell me something. This is the bust of Cleopatra. Now, tell me, guys, or tell me, everybody in the chat, does anything about this look even remotely in the ethnicity of Black Africans?
No.
No, if anything, there's indication she was whiter than white because they were inbreeding.
Yeah, so you know, for probably about maybe 10 years, the BBC has been, doing this kind of thing, right? Like rewriting history, let's put it that way. For example, like claiming that when the Romans were in, most of England, the southern half of England, that there were also black people along at that time as well.
Yep.
And,
And so there's been black people in England for a
this,
real long time.
yeah, for like forever, this whole revisionist history thing. This is a very dangerous ideology that we're getting into of just rewriting history. This is pretty socialist.
Could you imagine
in a
trying to
sense.
write
It
a
is.
Could you imagine trying to write a story about like clan warfare in a proto like civilization? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like a clannish society. It would be like the Rings of Power. All the interracial clans went to war against each other because they were so the same and all so good.
Yep. There you go, Lenrod. Yeah, whiter than sour cream.
At this
I
point,
like
probably
that. I
had
like
some
that.
serious health problems from. I like. She was almost doubtlessly white, as I considered the way the Egyptians did things.
Yeah.
There's probably a small pool of other officers who were loyal to Ptolemy that she was able to marry within the group of their families.
Yep.
Like they liked keeping their property in like one family.
Yep. Phantom Outsider, also the autocracy almost never intermingled with the locals. It just wasn't done. Oh, and hail, old man. How's it going? Glad that you could show up here. She was white with Greek blood. Yeah, exactly. We covered that earlier. She was
Now,
Ptolemaic.
Greek people deemed white during World War II, I believe.
Yep. So, yeah, eventually these clowns are going to say Geronimo was Mexican.
Oh,
Yeah, probably.
yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me. So
He did cross the border and hide out from our troops there to attack and harass us.
That's right.
You could try to culturally appropriate him as a Mexican, but yeah, come on.
Yeah, precisely, right? I mean, Frank, this is like so ridiculous. Here's something else as well. That another portrait of Cleopatra, and this one is in Greece.
Oh.
So,
How about that?
Now I can't exactly put my finger on it, but there's something awfully, I don't know, how should I put it? Creamy about the skin here, and something about the hair.
Yeah,
And
red hair.
And the classic Greek nose, kind of that this Roman and Greek kind of nose.
Is this
Yeah.
another case of ginger side?
Yeah, I wonder, right? Oh
And
my
this
God!
like-
Yeah, you know what? There you go. There's something.
Yeah.
That's true. And you know what? Like you can see how old this Polaroid actually is from the way it's been kind of. I mean, do you remember how long it used to take when you used to have to wait like 5-6 minutes to like holding it and shaking it and like?
Oh yeah.
This is obviously what they did, and this Polaroid is a fairly decent quality.
Now painting is one thing, but I mean, hell, if you're doing a bust, boy, you better be sitting down for a long time.
Meanwhile, some crazy British guy probably burned her mummy by throwing it into the engine of a train to power it across the desert in the 19th century without even knowing it. That's like how crazy. Because there's a reason the British put out this perspective. It's because they want to like keep the stuff they plundered from all the other countries in the world. You know what country that the British Museum doesn't have much stuff from? America.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what? You know where I saw my first real British flag that was a British flag that was like made in England?
Yeah.
In the New York State Capitol among captured flags that the New York State militia had taken during the American War for Liberation.
Really?
Yeah, well, we took their colors when we beat them. And also, I think they started to want to be us.
Well, we did kick your ass in 1812, so.
Yeah, you know what? You could always say that you guys burned down the White House. I love when that happened. When Orange Man said that, and Pierre Trudeau was like, they were a British, so they're under British command. What did he? Because we all know it was a British militia division, but it was like because they were militia, they were of course under British command because they weren't even army. Did Canada have an army proper? They just had a bunch of militia grafted
No,
on.
We did.
At that point,
oh yeah,
it wasn't just the British Army Canadian division.
No, it was definitely British Army.
Yeah. The thing is, they burned down the White House, and I think it was my Cubano brother. What's your president's name? Fernando. I forget his name. Trudeau. He was just like really indignant. He was like, they were British soldiers, and I'm just like, dude, you burned down the White House, man. The Harvester aliens pulled that off, and look, they only survived like 3 days after that.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I love this comment by Timothy and Jenner. Wow, after a rough night. Yeah, it was. Yeah, partying too hard, that's what happens.
People weren't all that good looking back then.
No, probably not. Rough life.
Brushing your teeth, young. Not a thing.
Yeah. Sad. So.
I'm glad I live now. In the future.
Modern conveniences. So.
Yeah, it's we see from the Iron Man movie, the Howard Stark vision of 1980, and it's like we're not even close to that.
No, we're not. So, oh crap!
They do make flying cars, but you're not allowed to own or operate one in New York.
Yeah. Well, let's see. What else in some nutty news can we find? Oh yeah. Our illustrious retard, Luke Skywalker, Sith Master. Yeah. Well, hail Canadian Spider-Man. How's it going, dude?
Hey there, Spidey.
He's been an idiot for the past couple of days here.
Yes. I just saw this earlier today.
Yeah, he's been
look at that.
Yeah. Mark Hamill chats up Ukrainian Nazis in new video gets roasted by fans. Mark.
Oh, he's just
any credibility he had. He could have posted his views and gotten them across, and still seems likable. A lot of people have pulled it off, but his daily multiple assail made you. You know what? If you think that he's horrible, if you want to have renewed love for Mark Hamill after you see the kind of stuff he tweets, Tim Russ, Tuvok from Star Trek Voyager, is an evil man as far as the things he puts online. I'm not saying anyone should go after Mr. Ross or that the world would, don't do anything to Mr. Ross. Leave him alone. Do not approach Mr. Ross. But the things he puts on Twitter, he is just, it's nonstop. To him, it's currency.
Apparently so, yes.
Let's see. 59 minutes ago, he tweeted the poop emoji on GOP. Was it part of a conversation?
Right.
It was a conversation about Kevin McCarthy. Well, I mean, going for the low-hanging fruit McCarthy, I mean, as a fellow Irish person, I just got to say, where's your, he's just not a very good talker.
Not really, no.
No.
Well, Star Wars actor Mark Hamill's political ignorance and complete denial of reality has achieved legendary status over the years, but this latest gaffe may have broken the camel's back. So, in a video posted on his Twitter account, Hamill chatted up Ukrainian soldiers because, of course, let's pander to Ukraine. It's not like they're ever going to pay anybody back for all the money that they're borrowing and whatnot, without realizing that one of the groups had a Nazi flag in the background. So,
oops.
Yeah, oops. It was enough for the actor to trend on Twitter once more because, you got to stay relevant somehow for all the wrong reasons. And what is in the latest in a series of tone-deaf virtue signaling regarding the war in Ukraine. So, so Hamill's tweet included a message that read, "It was a pleasure to meeting with the brave Ukrainian drone operators." Oh, yeah, because operating a drone is so brave, It's a remote-controlled plane, dude. Come on. We talked about the challenges they face on a daily basis, but they also wanted to talk about Wookiees and farm boys and droids. Oh, for God's sake!
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Come on.
I'm wondering if I should actually play the video, but I think pictures are enough.
Oh,
You know, the absolute worst part about all that
yeah,
is when it was brought to his attention, all he did was double down.
yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, it's pretty
like,
sad.
It is pretty sad.
yep.
However, many Star Wars fans, including a significant number of Jewish Twitter users, were none too thrilled about Hamill's nonchalance and ignorance. Joseph Lewis.
Did Mark Hamill go to
Grande.
college? I mean, like,
I
what
doubt it very
kind of
much.
what kind of like level of
I don't even think he finished high
worldview
school.
does
I have no
Mr.
idea.
Hamill bring to the table? I mean, like, it was funny when he read Trump's tweets as the Joker. Let's face it, it was fucking fun. It was fucking funny.
Yep.
You know, you have to be able to laugh at things. That was funny. But
Yep.
then,
Exactly.
like, and you're like, you know what? Mark Hamill's funny. I'll follow him on Twitter. And you read it, and it's like 65 insanely extreme.
Yep.
He never says to hurt anybody.
No.
Mr. Hamill is a hippie.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
Mark Hamill is a hippie. He wants
Yeah.
everybody to love him. But
Oh, I
then
love
he says
this.
he shows a scathing side, and he shows how the hippies became the yuppies.
Yep. Hail Lake Ray Lucard. Nice to see you here. I guess been here. I don't know if you've been here before, but I like your comment. Ruh-oh.
How come there's no category for like his education? Oh,
I think since the motorcycle accident, things have really gone downhill for him. So that's
think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
he has a degree from Los Angeles City College, a public community college in East Hollywood. So it's a junior college degree.
Yeah.
It's
I
part of
think he got his GED there.
Yeah, probably did.
Yeah.
Lenrod, it's only bad if it's a MAGA flag. Yeah, you're right, man. So
No, he's like, honestly, he's community college smart. I think
that's
to
not
be
saying
honest,
much.
No, because 80% of Americans start college, but only 18% finish it. So they get like they try to throw some like arts and sciences at you,
Yeah.
and like you get like shafted on the technical stuff. And if I was going to design a curriculum for 2 years, I'd be like, fuck it, man. Like, we'll give them like a lot of technical stuff because whatever. And then if they want to like be a little more intellectual, we'll have other kinds of schools. We'll call them college, universities. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? For people who want to take that path.
Exactly. But this guy, he tweeted out, "You're supporting fascists and trying to make it sound cute with Star Wars references." Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yep.
look at this guy in the
That
on the
particular
left.
flag is unambiguous, by the way. It's not
That-
like some.
yeah.
It's
You
not a
can't mistake
debatable
that.
faction of their World War II army. And if this photo is as real as it is, and like you state, like how many people have not hit the like button when they've seen a picture like this on Twitter?
Exactly.
It's like I know that this is too fucked up for me to deal with. I'll go away from it.
Comrade Bird quickly provided some visual aids for Mark Hamill to digest, showing the breakdown of the neo-Nazi symbols commonly utilized, which included the infamous black sun present in the aforementioned video. Yeah, so visual aids, by Bookbird. Yeah, visual aids to assist you in understanding that you're supporting liberal Nazis, Mark. So
Now, if you look at that first rune, it's remarkably similar to the rune for Gandalf that Tolkien used, because of course Tolkien messed around with all their languages. That was his basis of his languages.
Yep. So, you know what? And it makes me laugh because all this time, like, they're pointing at conservatives, people like Mark, people like, I don't know, like, let's say Maria Sirtis, or, like everybody else.
No,
almost
wait.
everybody else in Hollywood.
You deeply misspoke. You said they're pointing at conservatives like Marina Sirtis. You meant to say Marina
Mark.
Sirtis. Marina Sirtis is the one doing the pointing. She's pointing at conservatives. Yes.
But, but saying that all of these guys are Nazis.
Your chat would have lit up the wrong way.
Yeah, sorry. But pointing at conservatives saying, "Oh no, you're Nazis, you're Nazis, you're Nazis," but yet it's like, "Oh, Good job, guys. Good job. I don't care. I don't know what's in your background, but you think with all this obsession with the right being Nazis and all that, you think they'd be well versed in all the symbology that goes along with it, instead of maybe just a swastika or something like that. But no, it's just basically proving how dumb you are.
Yeah.
That you know nothing.
I think, to be honest, like the Norwegian version of like the Nazi stuff looks like much the same, but like it's pretty easy to see why.
Oh yeah, for sure. Former U.S. Marine and geopolitical commenter Brian J. Bertlick went straight for the jugular by highlighting the presence of the Nazi flag in the video roundtable discussion with Mark Hamill. Did you not notice the Nazi flag in the background? If they are this unconcerned about anyone noticing, imagine what other aspects of Nazism they feel free to indulge in. Easy to understand the necessity behind Russia's decision to launch special military operations. There we go. See, he highlights it. He circles it right there.
Flag.
It is a different flag, but if you go back to the ones up top, right, like say the numeral symbol,
that matches that stuff. You know what? Mark Hamill should have taken my advice, where I say sometimes you want to hit that like button, but you just keep scrolling.
Yeah, exactly.
Mark Hamill never does that.
No.
It doesn't help that in the picture his hair is combed like Hilter's.
Yeah, I was
oh
just
my God, you're
that
right.
Doesn't look right.
Yeah,
it doesn't look right.
Methinks he protests a bit too much. Herr Hamill.
To quote.
Oh, wait a minute! Isn't Hamill a German name?
Oh no!
Oh no, Mark.
Is it? I think it could be British too. Who knows?
No, it's German. It's German
Okay,
because I know my mom pointed that out ages ago. Because my mom's German, my dad's Austrian.
What is it German for?
No, we are not Nazis. What's Hamill? I got.
What is a Hamill? Is it like a Hummel?
Yeah.
Man made of ceramics.
Yeah, because
his head looks like it's made of ceramics when he cuts his own head off in Empire Strikes Back, and it rolls across the floor and his mask explodes. Mark Hamill needs to.
Damn, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if we could put together this group of people and the core members would be like Mark Hamill and Marina Sirtis, and they're like, I wanted to tweet today, but instead I just gave like $10 to like a kids charity. Like for them, 100, right? They've got money.
Yeah. Okay. So in German, Hamill, in North German, I believe it's known as High German. It's a nickname.
Hochdeutsch.
Yeah. It's an occupational name from the Middle Low German, meaning whether or castrated ram.
And he chose to go through. Well, I mean, he doesn't live in Germany. I found out that the name Teague is a racial pejorative in Europe.
Yeah.
So my name is N-word in Europe.
Yeah.
They're like, right this way with your bags, Mr. N-word.
Oh, how our names. Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, don't worry, guys. I'm your Teague.
Yeah, means weather castrated ram. So
yeah, that's not the greatest name origin.
Yeah, no, not really. Neither is Schwarzenegger. So
the black cloud. I think the black.
And my dad being Austrian, I asked him what Schwarzenegger means, and well, Schwarz means black.
Black.
And I don't want to say the last half of his name because we all know what it is and we all know what it means. So
I thought it meant the black plowman, and because an egg and a seed are the same word, like Schwarzenegger, the dark hair.
I had heard that as well.
Yeah. Well,
But that's not his real father anyway. His real father was like died in the war because he was a super bad guy. Right? Wasn't Schwarzenegger adopted? Like his father, and that guy was a terrible jerk too. I don't know.
I'm not familiar with that.
Schwarzenegger's childhood was really weird.
Mark Hamill's dad was Irish Scottish and Welsh ancestry. His mom was half Swedish and half English. Oh, that's interesting.
I would feel bad if I was that white.
I would too. So
sometimes I look in the mirror and I see my white skin and I'm like, at least I'm Latino.
But yeah. So he just tries to go on. I have no idea what that flag signifies. My support is simply for Ukraine over the Russian invasion. Well, maybe do a little bit of research.
Maybe try to educate yourself.
Oh God!
Instead of just be ignorant.
Mark Hamill has extended the mistake that Hollywood can change the world's problems and fix them to Twitter can change the world's problems and fix them.
Yeah.
So this man who seems so wise, it's like now, like the middle of Return of the Jedi, where he's crawling in the mud. Leave the subtitles on to watch him say whimpers.
Yeah, pretty much. So, Gap After Dark. Well, Arnold did put his seed into his maid. Yeah, you got that right. So, and Mark Hamill's brain is more like hummus. So,
he's a crazy, weird old hippie.
Heir to the Empire. Oh, wait, that was a Star Wars book.
Aren't they cannibalizing?
Gap.
Isn't that book the source for like a third of this new story they're going to try to tell us?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And does anybody care? Is Daisy Ridley's thing a canard because she can't really get fired till after Labor Day and like 3 months is an eternity at Disney?
I think so.
Things change fast there. There's going to be a huge walkout. 3 people leave their job for like 5 minutes during like actual break time.
Yeah.
Disney's a strange fucking place.
It is. It just there's there's just no shortage of stupid in Hollywood. I'll tell you that.
No,
and it makes me laugh.
I'm just thinking about driving past the Osceola sex offenders penitentiary and barracks on the way to Disneyland and the airport, and how hilarious that's going to be. Welcome
driving by, yeah.
Welcome to the happiest place on earth. Careful, do not stop. People on roads may be convicts.
Yeah, I was about to say, be careful driving by all the signs that say "Do not pick up hitchhikers."
Florida is the only place I have ever seen that sign that says "Do not pick up hitchhikers." They may be escaped convicts. What kind of place do they run down there?
Well, because like Disney Sheepherder said, they're opening up a prison right by Disney, so it's no surprise.
Quite honestly, Disney will just maybe lay down any legal resistance to taking away their corporate town to get out of having the prison. If they get a written guarantee on paper, there'll be no prison between them and the airport. Because then it's on them and the other side of the airport. What do they care if the locals know there's a prison there? But if you drive by those signs on the road, that'll destroy Disney.
Yeah, just imagine how entertaining the work release program would be.
Oh yeah.
Has anybody been to the East Coast Disneyland?
No.
Okay, so I've been to the East Coast Disneyland about 8 or 9 times.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh wow!
You fly. It's a $200 flight for New York round trip.
I had the option when I was a kid, but my brother and we picked NASA instead.
I went to NASA too. But we went to Houston and we went to Mission Control.
Yeah.
But like just over the course of my life, I'm an East Coast American, so I go to Florida in the wintertime just to get away from the cold. And if I didn't do that, everyone in Florida would starve to death because I spend money while I'm there.
That's right. So apparently Disney Sheepherder has to call it a night. So thanks Disney Sheepherder for dropping in.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. So if anybody else wants to join in, there's the link. You can come on in for a bit before for another 20 minutes, I guess, before we close up the show or whatever. So
you picked up 11, 12 more subscribers.
I guess
That's
I
more
did,
than
yeah.
one a day since you hit. Is that, or that's about one a day since you hit 700?
It is, isn't it, though?
That's cool.
Yeah,
If
it
you
is
continue to accelerate at
surprising.
this speed,
I'll hit 88 miles per hour, Marty, and I'll do it like really soon.
or imagine you wake up one day and there's just like an upload and you didn't do it, like your channel has become like sentient. It's just like creates
Yeah.
Comic Relief Crusader content like on its
Exactly.
own.
I'll just sit back and reap the benefits. There we go.
Yeah.
Slowly programming my YouTube to do that for me.
That would be nice. Oh, and apparently Jonathan Majors was dropped by his talent manager on top of that.
Oh
And
yeah,
PR
I saw that. Yep.
Yeah. So,
Now I only know the news from you. Who is Jonathan Majors? I'm Googling him.
Kang.
Kang.
Oh, Kang. I know
Kang.
of this Jonathan Majors you speak of. He came to
Yes.
New York City to commit a crime, thus pumping up statistics about my town. This is the safest. This is the safest major city in America. And Jonathan Majors
Lovely.
was born in Lompoc, California. So don't let him bring my town down. He brought his West Coast ways with him. And we play it strictly East Coast here in New York. So if he's trying to fucking pull some bullshit, he's going to get hurt. He's people are going to step to him.
Huh.
But what did he came out that he was all cocky and had his lawyer make a really brash statement last week. So that flipped over on him again?
Apparently so. Yeah. So there was a message apparently that that was released. I'm trying to find it. Something that the victim put out there. Trying to find it here if I can. Let's see. There's no what. Okay. Please let me know when you're okay to get this. Oh, no, whatever. Anyway, he's just been dumped by his PR firm, so don't know what is going to happen with him with Disney. Apparently, so things aren't looking good for him, and that means things won't be looking good, I guess, probably for the rest of Phase 4. Ooh, who would have thought it?
Yeah, whatever phase they're in, because this throws a major wrench in their works, because if they move forward with their plans, they're going to have to recast.
Yeah, probably. But because it's the multiverse,
Stage 6, woo! Here we come.
Yeah. And hail JRC 99 US. Great, you're feeling better, dude. So
every time we've seen Kang on screen, he's lost.
There you go. Yeah,
Pretty
he always
much.
does seem lost, doesn't he?
And in the beginning, he starts out as a loser who kind of builds his way back, right? In the Ant-Man and the Wasp, if I understand correctly, he's a loser, and he kind of gets it together in this new place, and like he's not the greatest thing. Ant-Man takes him out. I mean, now Paul Rudd, I've seen him. If you're gonna lose a fight to Paul Rudd, how tough are you? And they say he can beat Apollo Creed's son. Come on.
Yes. Come on. Like that's ever gonna happen.
Yeah.
I can believe that Michael B. Jordan could do it.
Think so. Yeah, probably.
I wouldn't fight Michael B. Jordan.
No, I wouldn't either.
Nope.
So, let's see. So, seeing how tomorrow is the last episode of both The Mandalorian and Star Trek P-Hard.
Oh my God!
Yay!
Yeah. What do you? Okay.
They
First,
dropped the same day because I only started watching The Mandalorian. Oh my God! No wonder the people who watch both are so damaged and angry at people right now. And by the way, guys, I feel your pain. And there's some people out there poking them with a stick and kind of telling, like that. We've seen a couple of people on Twitter. We won't name names, and we've seen people saying that it's a gift from Terry Metalis, like unironically repeating things that Nerdrotic says.
Yes, I know, right?
I
thought it was good.
Like, and you know what? If you wanted to call it Planet Voyages and have it be this dark and, do these obvious writing tropes, I mean, these people they're dying to write a detective story. For some reason.
They are.
But then when they go detective, they solve things by magical thinking.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's the magical bullshit device.
Your DNA was
space magic.
What do you mean my DNA was stolen? I think maybe they're going to construct a perfect golem of you to take a. How the fuck? That's an actual line of dialogue, guys.
So, opening this up to the chat and
Oh.
obviously to you guys. First of all, what do you, because Mandalorian comes out tomorrow, Picard comes out the day after that. So, what do you think's going to happen in the Mandalorian last episode tomorrow?
First of all, which one is worse should be your poll. Which one has been worse?
You know what? Yeah, I'm going to have to start doing
don't
both.
validate
That's become a
either
toss-up
one
at this
is
point.
better.
Yeah.
I think the Mandalorian's better, but it's got problems that are different. You ready?
Yes.
So the
Jack Black and
Mandalorian
Lizzo.
isn't quite as stupid, but it's really slow. Like
Yeah.
if someone's gonna bring the Mandalorian a message, what we see is the sunrise over like a distant planet, and a lone messenger rides a path, and like this whole thing, and then like a knock on the door, and they're like, "This is for you," and he opens it up, boom, bum, 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 and then whatever. It's like I
like
kind of
that.
just hold out for the art scenes at the end and tell myself that they're unrelated to the horrible stories.
Yeah,
that I
me
sometimes
too.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Old man says, yeah, and there will be great rejoicing.
And what do you think? The best episode
so
is Greenbeard the pirate.
Yeah, I think so.
That's my favorite
Boring
of the
salad.
five. I still have a few more to watch.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't watch the one from 2 weeks ago. I'm
Oh, no.
telling you, for the love of God, do
with
not watch
Lizzo?
episodes.
And
Yeah.
Jack Black. Yeah.
I enjoyed that one deeply,
Oh,
but
I
can
detect
I
a
can
hint of sarcasm in that.
Yeah.
I can explain why.
Okay.
You
Okay.
see, here's this thing happening in front of us that we don't understand. And I'm trying to figure it out while it's happening. And all that I can come up with is they asked Lizzo to be part of the Little Mermaid, and she was so subpar that she couldn't do it. But they said they'd pay her a lot of money to take an audition, and that they would try to break her in with a smaller acting role that they would overpay her for. And that was The Mandalorian. Because what has The Mandalorian been since the first few episodes of his own show, except your friendly planet to planet show salesman? He
Yeah.
sells us a new backdoor pilot every couple of weeks, and then sometimes he kills a monster. But I don't.
That's about it.
It's the truth. And the Mandalorian, like, he's not a very intelligent guy.
Yeah.
No.
That
Oh, there
said,
you
it's
go.
They've
not
they've
an
done away with any possibility of his character growing. There's just nothing there.
And Gap After
everybody's
Dark
openly
says-
saying he dies next week, and it's going to be continue on with Katie Sackhoff.
Yeah, maybe. Gap After Dark
Maybe.
says, Admiral Teague, we all know you have Lizzo CDs.
I would say this: I don't know a lot about Lizzo's music. I did see her SNL. It wasn't horrible. She does have that hit. I forget what it's called, but you've all heard it. It's like every morning show's song. Let me see what it's called. Maybe that'll jog a memory. I think the name is unrelated to its to the song. About Damn Time
No, I
to
never
be
heard it.
loved, juiced. It's like head back. If you heard it, it's so familiar. It's the song of 2020, like one or 2019.
No, I never
What is
heard
it
it.
called?
I've never heard of it.
I'd
Didn't
rather
know who
listen
she
to
was
Talent.
before.
By the
this.
way, she appears to have a song called "Everybody's Gay."
Okay.
That's probably why I definitely never heard of it, Lizzo, until this
Yeah.
year.
Well, I mean, I would tell
It
her
could
that
be.
too if she wanted to have sex with me. Because we've.
Well, yeah. Well,
But
of
I've
course.
also, she sells enough records and makes enough money, and apparently does write her own songs to say, all right, she's probably an okay musician. I mean, it's proven itself. If people are paying money to see her, that means she's good. And she sings for real. They say. I mean, unless there's some level of deception going on, we don't know. Oh, fine, but like,
Yeah, I will give her that, because I did hear her sing once, and yeah, I will give her that. She does sound good.
It's not like she's talentless as a singer,
Right. But other than that,
I don't think she needs to change her entire life like the chick who sang "Rolling in the Deep" and become a thin person. But
Yeah.
I would say, and I don't think she should be ashamed of being fat,
No.
of being large.
no.
And I don't think that her outrageous costumes are something that people should scoff at, because it's fun and it's funny, and you can have a laugh with it. But when Disney takes her, they use her in a bad way, and they kind of clubbed us with her. And what we found out from watching that episode, which is why it's my season favorite, second favorite after Greenbeard the Pirate, is that we see two things put on display by the Mandalorian. One is that it's not the kind of material that you would even want a professional actor to have to deliver. Katie Sackhoff, if her face hadn't been frozen by radical plastic surgery, would look very embarrassed, in my opinion.
There you go.
Yeah.
Pop Culture
I can see
Republic,
that.
what do you think?
Oh, goodness. I honestly don't know where to begin with it, because I was thinking about this yesterday, thinking how much better bad fan fiction would be than either of these shows.
Right.
This is
I could imagine a half dozen different scenarios that would be so much better than what they're doing.
Yeah.
But it's
the Raylo movie now no longer sounds as bad. Is this like a movie? Is this like having like Star Wars is now like a Margot Robbie movie? No one can be prettier than Margot Robbie, right?
Yes.
It's her movie, right?
Right.
So now it's Star Wars. It's like Rey is the bestest ever, and she's back. So now no one can be as good as Rey. So like it nerfs everyone else. And it's imposing this weird, like when we saw Hux's father, and he just kind of gives this like, I have to get consent from my neighbors to live where I live grin.
Yeah.
See, it looks like he just did time for something wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I just came back off that island that they send Luke Skywalker to, so I wouldn't have to ask my neighbors for their permission because no one lived there. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. Octug is Megan's Law planet.
I'll give it for that character, that Commander Hux. Okay, like he played it very outrageously, and I loved it. The story otherwise was shit. The whole
I've
trilogy
only seen him teased once, and I've seen him teased once and smiled. He hasn't done anything plot wise yet.
I've seen him in what was it, Peter Rabbit? Like he was in Peter Rabbit, right? And you know,
well, that guy's a decent actor.
Yes, he is, and I did a double take. It's like, holy shit, that's Hux. It's and he is a decent actor, and but I love that overachieving maniacal character that he had, as Commander Hux.
Definitely.
I'll give it that.
There's certain things about science fiction I don't like, and I don't like where Star Wars is going with this.
Phantom Outsider in the season finale of the Mandalorian, Baby Grogu says, May the Force be with you, voiced by Mel Brooks. Oh, voiced by Mel Brooks. Okay, well then I totally did that wrong.
Yeah.
So,
I had said about a year ago that what the hell is going to happen when they give him a voice, and look at this, or maybe 6 months ago, that eventually he's going to have to speak. So they found a way to get around it for a while.
Yeah,
but he wasn't very nice or respectful to his guardian when he could talk.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tim the Enchanter, there's a Star Wars Back to the Future crossover being worked on. It's called the Mandalorian.
But by the way, can I just say that the Baby Yoda's last thing that he was in was a better, more appropriate, and faster thing. And also now, like, what's the point? Like, he can only say yes and no. He has as many options as
I know, right?
His exosuit. Yes.
He's got his
I
Gundam.
had heard that rumor.
He's got his
like
basic
months
Gundam
ago.
suit. Yeah.
I've seen this, but I mean, I've seen this part somewhere before. It's like, you haven't heard what happened to Captain Pike.
Oh.
Boop, boop.
Yeah. That's about it.
He can only say yes and no.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, after we've seen the adventures of New Trek Pike, I think it was like, we have an entire Stephen Hawking thing set up that you can talk perfectly. No, I only want to say yes and no. I hate all the people I've met, especially the people in Starfleet. Please don't make me talk to them.
I think tomorrow it's going to be another, Katie Sackhoff centered story yet again.
I think so, because they are moving.
She's going to get most of the action.
Do they kill him?
I don't know. Mandalorian's going to take a back seat.
Is it on the table that they kill him?
Does it matter at this point?
Yeah.
What you're saying is he's as good as dead? They killed him this season?
Yeah.
Well, there's a rumor that he's had a major fallout with Disney Studios, so it's no telling what they do with his character.
Who, Favreau?
No, Pedro Pascal.
Pascal. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? If there's anybody that you would want to have played by a stuntman and only work as a voice actor remotely,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he's another guy who has like a Twitter stream is about as horrible as Tim Ross.
JRC says for Pucard, Janeway is going to come back to
Yay.
pilot Voyager. They'll get someone to pilot the Defiant from DS9. Won't be Avery Brooks since he's blacklisted.
Oh,
I will say this: don't count out the Discovery showing up like boom out of nowhere.
Oh yeah,
and,
yeah.
And then we
Yes.
just end with like the only music we've heard in 10 episodes. Like they'll be like, I don't understand, Beta. Nothing is happening. Wolf, what should we do?
Phantom Outsider, Lizzo's got problems believing the BS that they've been shoveling. The other day, she claimed she was the standard of beauty. Nope, don't think so. Yep, no,
It's
you're
not
right.
true,
You're
but
right.
I gotta give her credit for saying it. That's such a fuck you thing to. You know what? If Lizzo played guitar and was doing punk and had everything the same, I might be her fan. I might
Yeah.
have a T-shirt. But if she can't act, but the thing is, it really did expose that the material is so poorly written that what could a trained actors have done any better than that? Honestly,
somebody would be hard pressed with given that
Halle
material.
Berry has an Academy Award and almost saved Moonfall, and I don't think she could have done any better. Angela Bassett,
Yeah.
you know, to keep it the same, races and everything. You know, they're not going to save it. Lizzo, you know what? Enough people find her to be very entertaining as a musician. We got to give her that. Like, we don't hate her. We just think that she has no place in Star Wars. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't even know that she said if she said anything crazy, it's flown under my radar. I think she just goes out there and makes a lot of money and has found a way to like I would rather be Lizzo than like Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus has to work out.
Yeah, that well, you got a
Miley
point
Cyrus
there.
has to jog and diet, and Lizzo
You got a
just,
point.
rolls
You
out
know?
of bed and just like eats what's left of last night's hamburger and
Yeah.
orders room service
Oh.
and has that, and then hits the continental breakfast, and then she's just making awesome music all day long. Because the one thing that we can't falter on, and I have only heard one song, but
Right.
so much success, it's got to be pretty good music. People seem to like seeing her live.
Yeah,
She's probably
there
going
you
to be
go.
around for a while.
Gap After Dark says, Teague, you sure know an awful lot about Lizzo. So-
I got it because it flies in the face of everything that's supposed to make you successful. She's not thin, she's not conventionally pretty, and although she has talent, it's not the kind of talent that people really give a lot of credit to. And she's in a very ageist field, so she made it within a very small window.
Yeah,
Because
there you go.
where's the guys who are 50 years old who have a second career as rock and rollers? And they're
Well, there you go. See?
And they're
Well, Phantom
arguably
Outsider.
better than they've ever been.
But being oversized didn't do Elvis no favors. Yeah,
He
you got
only
a
made
point
it
there.
to 40. It's messed up that Lisa Marie outlived him by 10 or 12 years.
I know, right?
Mm.
Okay, so that for the Mandalorian. So we'll start with Pop Culture Republic here. What do you think is going to happen with Picard? Because I know Admiral Teague has volumes to share. So I'm going to go.
I'm
with
going to
you
keep it
first.
brief.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it brief.
Wow.
Because I've only had two or three things, I think.
Okay. Go.
Okay. Wow. I'm at a genuine loss for words with Picard because it's just so stupid.
Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine what they would throw in. It seems like they're throwing in everything from old TNG, everything but the kitchen sink. Like, oh, we like this from TNG. We like that from TNG. Let's throw it all in, see what happens.
Right. Yeah, I think the one thing that they all took, it's like what Steven Spielberg said, like if Nazis make a very good bad guy, right?
Yeah.
And in this case with with Picard, the Borg are
I'm so
definitely
tired
the bad
of
guy.
the Borg.
Somebody was mad at me for scoffing hard in the first 5 minutes at the Borg and then Crusher being John Wick. But I'm like, how the hell? I saw like the most tired characters have been used as bad guys.
Yes.
And I said this the other day. how many Borg cubes could Janeway put paint on the side of the fucking Discovery?
Every one of them.
Like 9?
Yeah.
How many
It's
Borg
crazy.
cubes does she fucking destroy? 12?
Yeah.
It's more than 6 for sure.
Yes.
I mean, you should have known something was up when a character says, "Oh, it's been over 10 years since we've heard from the Borg." Boom! Borg shows up on their
That's
view
an
screen.
enormous
All of
problem
a
that Mike
sudden.
and I are going to talk about right now.
Yes.
Oh,
Seasons 1 and 2 have been, after there was a lot of flack and misinformation, maybe not by the official sources. It might have been the podcast itself saying season 1 and 2 didn't happen, but it was out there.
Yeah.
But it is canonical. We were now presented by a set of events that, if true, mean that season 1 and 2 really couldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm left to ask, and people are getting, this is the Star Wars Stockholm syndrome that's sweeping through my fleet. My doctors are working on a vaccine, and there'll be a hypo spray ready soon. So just it seems the best thing to do for this Star Trek Stockholm syndrome is to stop the new Trek intake, because it poisons your mind.
Yes.
You start to, especially if you watch the middle bad seasons of Deep Space Nine, where they didn't have the Defiant yet, and it's not really working that well. You might come to the conclusion that Star Trek was always bad, but it wasn't. It was actually a great show. And
Phantom Outsiders, like he says, yeah, the actual takeaway from PR season 3 is McCoy was right.
That's right.
McCoy was right.
The more convoluted transporter tech becomes, the more I hate it, because I hate that concept.
I got a couple of things about this one. Bullet points.
Okay.
Ready? First one
Yeah.
is, whatever it is, we will find out ultimately what it was in leaked internet Easter eggs the next day from Trek culture.
Right.
Because it's never what it seems to be at the end of the show. It's always so much smarter when we find out the stuff they forgot to add into their story and leaked on the internet. And that they've been showing the Genesis device and the schematics at the end too much, and the DNA too much lately, more and more and more.
Right.
That I think a female or non-binary Kirk Picard hybrid clone bad guy with a Genesis device ready to shoot it at Earth is the last 1 minute of it. It's like bam, 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 black screen, the end, and they're like, yeah, we don't care, we don't fucking give us money or we won't finish it, because they're scumbags and it will not have a clean ending. It will all parties in jeopardy except one who has a chance to save them, and they're already pushing for this. Like, I guess it'll be Captain 7 now of the USS Titan
I think
show.
so.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what we want, as a Borg in command.
Yeah, exactly. JJ says Q's going to come back and save the day and send them back to Encounter at Farpoint.
Like, everybody go back to
Can
the
you
beginning
imagine?
and do it all over again.
Did you see that when you were old enough to understand what exactly it was representing and what it was, Mike? Or PCR?
At Encounter at Farpoint?
Encounter at Farpoint?
Yeah, when that debuted on TV. Because, I mean, I was like in the beginnings of high school.
Well, I mean, because
Not
I
right
do
off.
remember that Q does say, the trial never ends, right?
But I was just like, wasn't it like the
Yeah.
weirdest fucking thing to still be Star Trek, where you like, it took about 2 weeks to process the first episode of Next Generation, and then like the next 25 are kind of bad until they're
Yeah.
redeemed by later episodes that are much better and call back to them.
Yeah.
And then you can really, really enjoy some of these episodes like you wouldn't believe. But I mean, like,
Yeah,
now
because-
for 10 years with the new Trek, they can't say they're doing that.
No.
They're not doing any damage control. When they try, it makes things worse.
Yeah.
they're
Because I
just-
thought, like, originally in Next Gen, when when they brought back the one virus that basically makes everyone drunk, I thought, why are you
that
bringing
one.
up that story again, right?
I heard a reason why floated in some fan theory thing.
Really?
Yes, it was that after seeing Encounter at Farpoint, it was felt that the crew was so tightly wound and so unfriendly towards each other, they had to have an episode like that.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was based on the fact they had
cast chemistry.
They felt they had no chemistry, and they felt that, and I feel that, like, until Riker almost dies in the clip episode, there is no chemistry. And that, by the way, is the best episode of Next Generation, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I just like it when oh god, I'm trying to remember her name. She was security. Before
Tasha Yar. Drugs
Tasha
can
Yar.
make you. Drugs can
Yeah.
make you feel
Crosby.
good, Mike, but it's
yeah,
only
they can make it
temporary.
feel good. When she just makes out with Data. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's the only time looking unappealing because her hair is like greased down and weird.
Yeah, but
like
for some odd reason, I liked her.
I liked
You
the way her
know?
body looked in that outfit.
Yes,
She was dressed.
yes.
She was undressed to kill, but I mean, her hair was weird and freaky. I would have been like, yeah, it's got to be from behind.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, more than likely.
But Tasha Yar, I'm thinking is reverse cowgirl the whole way.
You might not be wrong. So,
Wow.
If
Phantom
she was gonna
Outsider,
be-
no way no way the ending will be Data will load Kirk DNA into the Genesis device and make everyone cool as Shatner. It would be the ultimate elimination of wokeness.
It's going to end with the Genesis 2 device, which we've seen a schematic for, on its way to Earth, about to hit it, and it's just going to go to credits.
There you go, JRC. Yeah, Tasha was my first Star Trek crush. Yeah,
Okay,
mine too,
yeah,
dude.
I can
Mine
see that.
too.
Yep.
To
I'm
me, she had a
older.
killer body. I liked her more than
She
Troy.
had a killer body.
She did. She
She
did.
was a better actress and hotter than Troy.
Yep. Oh,
Yes.
by far. Yeah, Canadian Spider-Man. Does someone say reverse cowgirl? You have my attention. So. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen because it seems like.
You think the writers know what's going to happen?
Whenever I think they're gonna do something, next episode or something like that, then they totally go like a complete 180 and just do something entirely different. So
Well, there's a larger problem here, and I hope that you're on board helping me try to save this, because now there's almost as much, if not more, bad, and it's bad as it could be. It's worse than really bad, just as even TV, Star Trek, than there is good.
Right.
And the words, the once proud colors of the Star Trek United Federation of Planets have been cast into the mud. And it's going to take a hell of an effort to redeem it, because we got to get it away from these people. They've got to be shown it's not profitable. A couple of cartoons that could be Futurama or licensed out or any other thing will just get the team rehired with a new IP that's not damaging the Star Wars. Don't watch Lower Decks anymore. Get your reviews from people like me, because I have a code and because I watch it 6 times so that I can debate people. And I have permanent brain damage because of this. I can show people
I'm
the
so
board
sorry.
after MRI. Well,
I have yet to see one episode of Lower Decks, and don't believe I ever will.
No, I haven't watched that. But what I do watch is I watch the new Trek, and I watch the new Trek propaganda from certain. I don't even want to name them.
Yeah,
but it's horrible. They're such shills.
Old man says you can make the show better if you bring back Marvin the Martian. Oh my, look, the Borg are coming to attack.
I love his walk on in Close Encounters.
Yeah. JRC, did you know that Denise Crosby is the granddaughter of Bing Crosby? I
did know that. Did you know that her sister shot JR?
Really?
Mary Crosby, Google it.
Oh, interesting.
They're all very hot in the body, and do not Google a recent picture of Tasha Yar.
No, okay. Canadian Spider-Man. Hey, if we're gonna do a covert attack mission against Secret Hideout, I'm in. I'll pack my suit ASAP.
The only way, no,
I
it can't
did
be a
hear that.
covert. The only way to beat Secret Hideout is with a public hangout. I think we all have to go out there in the streets with our hat in our hands and scream, "We're Satanists" on this one.
Yeah.
He's in league with the devil.
You're probably right. Yeah.
Listen.
So what do you think?
His father made Airplane.
Yeah. So what do you think is going to happen, Teague?
With Picard?
Yeah.
My one bullet point is we probably won't know anything until we see the Easter egg leaks the next day, because they won't give us a clean ending. I think it ends with everyone in jeopardy. I think that if anything, they're going to work hardest to leave the door open for a Raffi and Seven space cop show. and maybe heroic sacrifice by Deanna because people hate her. Because I think they want to keep New Jack. What would make sense, because that's my prediction, because it's so stupid. What makes sense is that New Jack sacrifices himself because he's an unlikable character. They fucked him up so bad.
Yeah.
He spends all his time on screen apologizing for what he is and talking about what a piece of shit he is.
Right.
Like you got me convinced. That's what you think about yourself, man. Fine.
I know he is rather insufferable.
He's like he said that he's not any kind of a nice person. He's actually the knob at the bar who says mean things that he can't take back. That's a direct quote.
And somehow I could see a spin-off show with New Jack and a LaForge daughter.
Yeah, see, I'm thinking because they titled that first episode "The Next Generation," right?
Yep.
And now you got the LaForge daughters, and now you got Son of Picard there, right? And I'm thinking, what?
Yep.
They're going to get rid of the old
he's a
crew.
Kirk Picard hybrid.
They're going to get rid of like the old crew of the Next Generation, make some sort of glorious ultimate sacrifice, and somehow they save Jack and Troy's daughters and something like that. And then next thing you know, because JJ has another 7 years, it looks like, from what I heard.
They're
going to make another Star Trek series, and Jack's going to be the captain. And the LaForge daughters are going to be on the next Enterprise, and go explore the galaxy.
In other news, Star Trek 14 kicked again. Not going to happen December 2023.
Oh goodness! Well, that's a shame.
Yeah. So I mean, they can make it now. How many announcements has that had? They can make announcements. The fight starts to save Star Trek now. We have our boot on their throat. This show, you can tell. Look at Captain Shaw's changing hair, and he changes for the plot in every episode until they fridge him in the cheapest way. Everybody we get to know, even a little bit, gets fridged by these dark motherfuckers. But there's just these empty ships. They have no background actors. It's as empty as season 3 TOS bad episodes. Like Lights of Zatar is still better than anything these guys have given us. They have given us one episode of Patterns of Force after another, if you know TOS.
Yep.
This makes me want to look up bad fan fiction to see how much better it would
probably
be.
The novels about Spock and Kirk being gay were probably better.
Yeah.
At this point, it's reality anyway to these freaking creators.
Oh God.
Dyslexic Spock. The biggest genius we ever knew. Now he had to unsimp himself with his even smarter older sister. It's like,
yes,
you can't make this shit up. But somebody actually did.
Yeah. I know. God, kill me.
Genesis device fired at Earth for sure. Cutting out to the credits with the device in flight.
I mean, if you say that's the only way to destroy the Borg nanites and revert everybody back to normal.
Oh, I forgot about. You know what? All you have to do is kill the head vampire. We found that out. So vampire trope will save them there.
Yeah.
It just depends on if they want to use it.
So that being said, what do you guys are thinking about this now? Section 31.
She was 40. She was 49 when it was announced. She's 60 now. She cost 5 times more. Yeah, ain't gonna happen. Nothing but failure. And what do we need another live action Star Trek show about? It's gonna be about genocide again. We can't have an episodic show with remember when just one character had to be in jeopardy, man?
Yep.
Yeah. Remember when Star Trek was about hope and a bright, optimistic future where people explored?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, no one's explored. I would even take this, as dark as it is, if we had really decently written friendship, loyalty, and sacrifice, we would be like, it's a darker universe, but it's still Star Trek. But there's no friendship, there's no loyalty, and there's no sacrifice. Everyone's a selfish prick. The Federation is so evil that our hero for Picard, her cred is that she's been court-martialed 12 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to know who took her on to a fucking bridge position after 11 court-martials
Right.
There you go.
for the 12th one to happen, because I want them court-martialed too.
James Caserta, I'm setting a pitch down on how to save Star Trek. Into
Don't save it to
SWS.
SNW. Recraft it slightly into your own property and try to sell it, because it's about the Star Trek adjacent. Saving Star Trek may at this point, it's probably true that saving the Orville is just a fact of life. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how many.
But I'd like to kill this particular Star Trek.
Yeah.
Many people would. I mean, the only way to kill it is just not give it any attention, not give it any view time, let it wither and die.
Question to the panel. My favorite character to kill New Trek would be Armis. 1, because he's low effort and he sucks, but 2, because he's gross and disgusting like them. I would like to see Armis destroy New Trek. Mike?
I got a question. Okay. So because of the whole reboot back in 2009, right?
Oh, right.
So now is Picard in the same timeline as, the Kurtzman reboot?
Well, we got 3 questions.
Because hold on a second, okay? Because in the last episode of Picard, okay, because he mentions to Jack about sending him to Vulcan to this institution of sorts. Now, if Picard is in the same timeline as reboot 2009 Trek, Vulcan was destroyed.
That's right.
Okay,
this is definitely
so what's going on?
In the comic book, Vulcan is destroyed too. Right?
Yeah.
This is all based off a comic book that sucked, kind of. And the only way is I could say this: there's like 4 possibilities. 1, all of this happened and somehow they're going to reconcile it. I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
2, and more likely, there are 3 different but separate fanfic possibilities about the end of Picard that only slightly relate to each other when they feel like it. 3, none of it happened. And here's my favorite one, 4. And I got a lot of anger from new Trekkers on this, so I think I want to start pushing this, Mike.
Yeah.
All Star Trek ended in the Nexus.
Yeah.
You went to the unescapable place, didn't you?
Interesting.
You had it. If you wanted to leave the most perfect, pleasant place, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was built like exactly like the first Star Trek we ever see in the cage and in the menagerie with the Telosians. Like, if you want to leave the Nexus is just going to level up for you and give you the challenge you want. It's like Total Recall. It's all a fever dream from the point Picard enters, but it really, to me, in my heart, ends when we lose Captain Kirk. When Scotty says "I," that's the end of Star Trek forever.
Yeah. Pop Culture Republic.
Yes.
Let's see. Let's plug your channel there, dude.
Okay. I'm Pop Culture Republic. I do videos off and on pretty much anything that catches my interest. Comic books, TV shows, movies, this, that, and the other. Occasional live stream. Once I get my computer problems straightened out, I'll be back doing more live streams and stuff like that.
Nice. And what's your channel all about? So people know.
What, pop culture?
Okay.
Sci-fi, comic books, TV shows. Let's see. My last live stream was on K-dramas I enjoyed on Netflix.
Nice.
Which is just about the only good thing Netflix has nowadays.
It's that bad?
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, some of them ain't that bad. Some of the K-dramas.
Yeah.
No, I just mean Netflix in general. It's like,
oh well, yeah. So
to be driven to watch the K-drama, you're already sort of like you're not in the best place.
I canceled my Netflix subscription when they came out with a certain documentary.
Oh, we know the name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh,
So I borrow somebody else's account to check out the stuff that isn't any good or is much better than the regular crap.
Yeah, okay. Admiral T, go ahead and plug your channel, my dude.
My name is Admiral Teague, and my channel link is in the chat. I have been pursuing and documenting the crimes and lies on the show Picard, the adventures of a cowardly bald space robot who is not, in fact, Picard. The show is a lie. The fact is, the finale is a lie. The idea, and I'm just going to say this right now, Mike. I have no doubt that in about 12 or 13 years, you and I are going to be sitting here saying Picard season 14. You know. Now Michael Burnham has come back in the season 30 Discovery event.
Oh shit! Star Trek Mikey Spock.
And we all have to celebrate Gene Roddenberry was politically incorrect day. Apology day. Fucking Frontier Day.
Yep.
I can't wait. So yeah, you can subscribe to me, and we do other stuff too. But right now, because of we started to fight the Lord of the Rings thing, but you know what? They didn't make any headway. The Lord of the Rings self-canceled. They were beyond satire or any kind of mockery.
Beyond hope.
I moved to Star Trek. This channel is auto-generated by my email, but I started uploads like at the beginning of Rings of Power, and I just took it personally. I took Terry Metalis personally, and I took Picard 3 personally because 1 and 2 were such a crime on the fans, and it's you know what, it shouldn't be allowed to stand. Someone has to at least point their finger at it. And, you know, I was told I'm breaking the Doomcock boycott only to have Doomcock like one of my tweets saying I have to watch it again and I hate myself. So I have at least, I'm not in trouble for watching it. I think that everyone should probably just listen to me. I act some of it out. We have other people do the voices. We have PDB. And this week we have Anti-Derivative Jill, so maybe she can act out, and I could just imagine how this will make her feel. Hey, could you be Raffi?
Sure.
Like she could only be 7. Like her choices are Deanna, and Raffi, Bev, who's horrible now, or you know, I don't know what to make of Bev at all.
I don't know.
I don't know.
She seems like, I don't know. Wishy-washy is not the word, but she's more like teeter-totterish. It's weird. It's weird.
Friday or Sunday, if you can come on and be part of the round table, we got to get you in there. We're gonna probably rotate people, but
yeah. What time are your shows?
What times? Yeah.
Okay, so these are all Eastern, right? So -4 GMT.
Right.
I'm in New York City, which has been it's there, but it's 4 o'clock or 4:30, and usually around 4:30. We try to wait till Anti-Derivative Jill's Star Trek thing is over, but like at 4:30 at the latest, we try to kick off our Star Trek show. Sometimes 4, and what we do is we rewatch Picard scene by scene. Thursday, honestly, is the live watch through with no pausing, and that's usually just a fuck fest where we have no idea how this could possibly be on TV. Then we try to figure it out the next night, and Sunday night is just a talk show on another topic that just happens to be called Saving Star Trek.
Right.
So
I will try to make it.
This
4
week
p.m. on Friday
and 8 p.m. on Saturday, and we might go at a weird time this week because we want to get a good roundtable on Picard, because I just feel that it shouldn't be rewarded because, and I think Michael will agree, if this is rewarded, they've shown they can do Star Trek not only really dumb and cheap,
exactly,
but like forever, and like I just don't need. And you know, I've been accused of being a pessimist of this. I don't think it's pessimistic to say these words. Better no Star Trek at all than this horrible mockery of Star Trek.
Yes.
You know, like I
shouldn't be rewarded for shoveling out crap.
It's the
No.
movie Pet Cemetery, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Not the same.
No, it ain't. I also put in Disney Sheepherders link also.
Oh, yes.
So
the
everybody
best.
can check that out because, yeah, he did have to leave early and he has started putting videos out. So, please support him as well.
Yeah, he did
So
put up
I'm-
his first video, he said, so that's cool.
Yeah,
And everyone
so
give him thumbs and likes so he gets plenty of
Yes.
feedback. And be nice.
that's right. It is his first video, so be gentle,
Yeah.
everybody.
We all
Well,
start
I bet you
somewhere.
it's pretty. My first video was pretty good, but I didn't have the audio up loud enough on like one of the sources. So it's just like the 2 of 3 things are good, and like the third one is just like silence.
Yeah, same here.
We all make mistakes.
Our
Yep.
firsts are always, awkward.
If you don't take that punch in the face from upload 1, there'll be no upload 2.
That's right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Even Doomcock has an upload 1.
Yeah, everybody
Oh,
does.
yeah.
So you only get better by constantly doing. So this is my channel. Please like and subscribe to all these gentlemen here and to
Thank you.
everybody that's mentioned in the chat of everybody's links on top of that. So I am the Comic Relief Crusader as well. And also, I'll be over at Rank or Steve's channel on Thursdays for Manorama. So if you want to watch and talk about manly things all the time,
That's been an entertaining show.
yeah, it has been pretty funny so far. So I think this Thursday we're going to be talking about manly hygiene.
Hey, who wrote that tip of the hat bit?
I think it was Steve. I'm pretty sure it was Steve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as far as I know.
Good.
Yeah, it is
pretty
pretty
good
good.
stuff.
So, and I think also he is going to be moving the channel Manorama onto Rumble, so he can avoid a lot of the YouTube kind of bullcrap that's going on, and really monetize himself sooner as well. On top of that, I am also on Rumble and not just solely on YouTube. So, you know what? Actually, because I really don't plug that often enough, and I really, honest to God, should. So,
Wow.
yeah, because
Sounds
I figure,
like
you know
Rumble's
what?
growing then.
It is, right? And it's actually, I find it, pretty fun
Cool.
to be on there. Yeah, so I'm going to also plug my Rumble channel here in the chat for everybody. So, because, you don't really go through as much bullcrap on Rumble than a lot of content creators have on YouTube. So if everybody also in the chat can spread this around and join the Rumble channel as well, I would greatly appreciate it. Because I'm a dad just trying to make my way in the universe and just trying to support myself. And, hey, if Rumble can help out sooner than YouTube, not that I'm poo-pooing YouTube because I'm, obviously like everybody else trying to get monetized so I can make this supplementary income because I'm getting older and my body is slowly betraying me. So... yeah, because I found out a couple of months ago through an X-ray and an ultrasound that apparently the cartilage and the tendon in my right elbow is slowly wearing out. So now I'm going through. No, it ain't, and I'm going through.
Would
almost
you stop
constant
jerking
pain.
off?
I'm trying, bud, but it's so hard.
You're
All
married.
those pictures of Tasha
I
Yar.
know. Yeah, it's all the pictures of Tasha Yar. I'm sorry. So.
But I just wanted to ask everybody, in the spirit of pure communism, give me money for no reason. In the chat at the end is my Ko-fi. You don't have to give me as much as the suggested amount, but what I will take is I will reinvest that money into capitalism, and by that I mean drugs or alcohol.
That's right.
Okay,
Support
because-
his decision to be making capitalistic decisions by taking your money and using it for something better.
Check out my Stockholm Syndrome upload. I directly push against the idea that we are Star Wars traumatized and therefore can't enjoy the show Picard. I say again, Aaron Judge had 630 70 at bats last year, right?
Oh, wow.
But he only had 63 home runs. Does that mean
Wow.
that the fans cheated him out of like 623 home runs because
It's
they
quite
weren't trying
possible.
hard enough? Because that's what the Picard people would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want anyone who's a fan of any team that's ever lost any game ever to tell me why they didn't try harder to make that team win. I think it's probably because you hate women.
Because they've angered the karma gods, and this is their punishment. So, yeah. So I want to thank everybody that showed up in the chat tonight. Disney Sheepherder, you were actually the first one in, so I know that you had to take off early, but thank you for coming here. Snaggle Fricklepuss, who said he's lurking while at work. Phantom Outsider, thank you, dude, for showing up. I really appreciate it. Super Goji Reviews, that apparently, I guess he just disappeared from the panel. So thank you for showing up as well. And JJ Abrams, Gap
Comrade Admiral Teague. That's
yes.
right.
Gap After Dark, thank you for joining. I know that you had to leave. Foggy Brains, I don't know if you're still in the chat, but thank you, bud, for being here. Phantom Boomer as well. And, of course, our James Caserta.
I thank the two subs who have joined my channel while I've been on this stream. And I thank the Comic Relief Crusader.
Yeah.
You are the greatest
welcome,
host. You are just the greatest.
Tim the Enchanter was also here. Thank you, Tim the Enchanter. Who else do we have in here? Penny was also here. Nice to see you, Penny. And I hope you had a good dinner that you mentioned earlier that that you finished supper. So who else was here? Oh, and our Guatemalan rooster. So yeah, love that name, man.
We had a whole movie pitch and skit with that, man.
Exactly. God, I don't know what it is about that name. I just like that name, Guatemalan Rooster.
If you can get past name. If you can get up to 1,000 subs, someone will start memeing for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to imagine like the Guatemalan Rooster thing would just be like, you see this like suave car like doing like aggressive driving and they're like window to window with some baddie and like it's just like the rooster like, but like, you know, not like the chicken from Family Guy, but like more like Mexican, more roostery. And he's just like sideways 9 out the window and just empties the clip. And that's it.
That'd be awesome.
With like metal music playing.
Chicken Run Part 2, right?
Yeah, I also feel like it would be like its drink too. It's like, you know, he goes into a bar, it's like, give me a Guatemalan rooster. And like the bartender looks at him for a second and like everyone in the bar kind of like looks.
Yeah. And it's flaming. It's on fire.
Yeah, like you have to serve it with fire tongs.
Yeah. I'd love that, man. We also had Pop Culture Mechanic that was here. Also check out his channel because I know later on Tuesdays he has his trades talk, which is not too bad. It's pretty good actually. Stark of Iron was here as well. Hail to you, dude. Glad that you could make it. Who else was in the chat? I'm just kind of going through everybody and anyone that was here. We had Hojo. He just found this new stream as well.
That's right.
That's right.
Cool.
So thank you, Hojo. I hope you're still sticking around. Great to have you on as well. And I'm putting Admiral T back in here after he just accidentally left.
At least once per stream.
So, I see. Let's see. Who else was also here that showed up a little later? Because I do want to give everybody a shout out that was here because I really appreciate all of you guys that was here. Oh, yes, that's right. And also Lenrod was here. You guys got to check out this big, giant-ass Game Boy that he made. Game Boy Advance. You can check that out over at King Dolphin TV. A couple of weeks ago, he showed it. It was like, oh, man, dude, it was awesome. And it actually plays, too. The buttons actually play and everything. It's so cool. Old man, glad to have you also here tonight. I really appreciate it. And our one and only Canadian Spider-Man, hail to you, dude. I'm really glad that you showed up. Ray Lucard was also here. I believe he is brand new as well. So thank you, Ray Lucard, for showing up. And I think I pretty much got Everybody. Oh, yes, and JRC 99 US. So, and glad that you're feeling better as well, dude. You know, food poisoning is not fun.
I
So,
think, yeah, that is not fun. But you
Nope.
know what?
Yeah.
The next sub you get, I challenge you to have the 714 Quaalude membership live appreciation stream.
ooh, that would be cool. Well,
Yeah,
usually
take
it'll do
Quaaludes
something good.
before it.
I will find some.
Have me on. Have me on, and I'll only speak as Picard.
Oh God! Can you imagine? Right.
How does he breathe with that constant like? I know we're supposed to like go off the air, but like I did. The final thought here is, how the fuck does he even breathe when it's a constant outward whiny exhale going on?
Yes.
Like it's continuous.
It's better coming out of the mouth than out of the ass.
Why didn't they just edit it out? Why is it important for us to hear him being frail?
I haven't the faintest idea.
And
But
no
James
idea.
Caserta agrees with you. Picard, piece of crap.
Yep.
So
You know what? In why is he an admiral? Because C-3PO, who's exactly the same, has no rank at all in the rebellion.
yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, honestly, useless intellectual observations in space. I mean,
God, I hate Anthony Daniels. Frig.
yeah, but
Ever
you know
since
what?
I
I'd
met him.
rather watch a movie about Captain Anthony Daniels than even one more second of anything with Patrick Stewart. I have found this is like really messed up the fandom bad. The one thing that they really wanted, they got.
Yeah.
They got people who were reasonable to buy the idea that it's not only is it okay for Star Trek to be bad, but since it was mostly bad,
Yeah.
slightly non-horrible Star Trek is superior, and that like just because like there's a debate to be had about Gene's message, like should he have? Is it like maybe that he was just a good collaborator, right? And all that other stuff. That like that means that like the Metalis vision is like equal. It's like we had, and you can verify this. This was not a joke. This was a mistake in the script. He says there's like something in the Shrike. We need data to get the data from its data banks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't a joke. And if they were trying to say that Deanna sleeping with the Changeling was supposed to be a joke. Someone said it took them 2 hours to figure it out, and they thought that it must have been like an assault.
Yeah. Then something really must be wrong with her sense.
She said something
like 2 hours.
She said two self-canceling things. One, that it was good. Two, that she didn't know till it made pizza. And then later she says as soon as they're around, she knows. So she did this on purpose. The show is unaware of itself as any Star Trek Discovery episode. It finally happened. The veneer of competence went 5 episodes this time. That's a new high.
Yeah. So, thank you everybody for joining for Titillating Tuesdays. Stay tuned next week when we'll have a full panel and guest starring you. So we'll do the same thing again, and we'll have another link. And if you guys in the chat also want to join in, you may. It's free for everybody to join on in. Don't care what you sound like, don't care what you look like, just join on in, have fun, and because this is what it's all about. So from all of us on the panel here to all of you out there in the YouTubes, whether you're catching it on the rewind or just catching it right here, thank you all for showing up, and we'll see you next week on another Titillating Tuesday. Enter the Geekosphere. So, good night, all.
Good night, all.
Good night.